great book.
It is a great book. Did you bring that to show it to me?
I have a bunch of copies, so I just figured I'd leave it if you guys care to read it.
I absolutely.
It's all yours.
Okay, shit. Let's see. I got everything but the damn audio. That would help.
Just over 12 years. 303-867-7000, 867-7000. I need a home loan.
He used to have a court, man. One of our listeners took this little statue to this
Auction
house.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And her day in court is today, and he's never seen. I think he's a little fond of her too, but I won't. Actually, maybe I will mention that. They've been out to lunch.
Is Dan not married?
Yeah, Dan is divorced. Oh.
What happened with that auctioneer that tried to trip you on the way out?
Is
that him?
Yeah, the listener's a little insane. She's suing him for like $7,500.
Is that what you served him on?
Hello! Testing! Say that again now.
That's the case you served him, right? You walked in with a box and served him.
He literally tripped me or tried to trip me.
What a joker.
Yeah, he was a joker, actually. Alright, so now we're going to do like this. What do you think? I have this down pat by now, but we'll do it that way.
Denver's Talk Station, 630 KL. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. We are here to do one thing, to solve problems. Now, of course, along the way we have fun. We might even entertain you. For sure, we'll educate you. That's what we do on this show. Going on 40 years, just Denver alone, and it's longest running radio show. Currently on the air with the same host. By the way, we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app. You can download us all over the place. We're live at referralist.com. Referralist.com is our answer to all those lists. It was the original list of dependable people. So, all you have to do is call. Now, you can call 24/7 at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. When you call, we'll respond. In fact, we have some living examples on the phone right now. Cody, Deborah, Terry, all people who called us, we call them back. And then you can call at 303-713-TALK when we're on the air. But 303-MARTINO works all the time. Let's talk, for example. And then we have some guests, exciting guests today. Really exciting. Cody, what's going on with your home build, Cody? Hey. Well, thank you for contacting us. We're living proof that we do get back to you. What's going on, Cody? All right. Go ahead. Okay, so what happened? It's not a custom home. It's a modified or a semi. It's a track home that you get to pick stuff. Okay, so what's the problem? All right, I understand that, but those schedules are just schedules. They're not, in fact, most of the time, they don't even resemble reality in any way, shape, or form. So what can we do for you, man? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so they changed it. And listen, here's the problem. Okay, let's just get right to it. This is a pain in the ass. This was your home for all intents and purposes. However, in the contract, it's not your home, and you get a final walkthrough. And in other words, you can decide not to buy it. They can't lock you into it, but you can't lock them into that thing. You are having it built. But because there will be no loss, meaning if it turns out differently than you expected, you can always walk away. So here's what they're going to tell you. They'll tell you a few things. First and foremost, they have the right to do this and to alter the plans. Or second, take it or leave it. Or third, which I doubt they'd say, oh, sir, we have a Loctite contract. You're right. We altered the floor plan. We have to fix it. But I doubt they would say that. What is their response to you? Well, you should get it. Now, that for sure. Now, if they're saying you can't move on and they change the terms and conditions, I think you have every right to move on unless somehow you locked yourself into that contract where it said we have, the right to alter things, blah, blah, blah. But I can't believe any judge would uphold that. I can't believe that you go in with a certain floor plan and they make a major change and expect you to stick to it. Now, if they tell you you can get out, that's fine. But are they saying not only did we make the change, Cody, but you are obligated to stick to this house? Good. No, you don't. Wait, what do you mean losing money? Why? Why would you lose money if they change the plan? No, I need to know that you're not exaggerating, so please help me, okay? What did they change exactly? What did they change? The wall? Okay, now when you mention this, what is the response to that? Okay, right. But do they have the right to change things and make you stick to it? Okay, you got to send the contract. We have to have an attorney look at it. I mean, it's coming right. That's what it's coming down to. Okay, it's coming down to whether or not they can change it. It's really going to be that simple. Can they change it or not? And do you have to keep it? I doubt that they can force you to keep it. They won't give your deposit money back? How much is
really down, but we'll give him a call. Mark this as a follow-up, Suzanne. I'll give it to someone. But all we can do is ask for your money back, and I want to know what contract you signed, have our attorney look at it, so send it to us. So mark this as a builder track home changes. That's what we'll call it. By the way, people, we track all stories by the last name and by a slug, we call it, the name, the title. This would be track home changes. Speaking of building, we have a builder with us, Mark Szymanski, Genesis Total Exteriors, of course. He does home improvements, mostly exterior. He does roof, siding, windows, decks, doors, fences. He does all of it, even painting. Then he does interior as well. He says exterior's going big now. Usually in the winter like this, you move into kitchens and baths. What happened this year?
No, I mean, we still did.
I know you're still doing it, but I mean, you're more heavy on the outside.
Yeah, it's just, because last year's storm, we're still cleaning up. I mean, there's still a ton of work out there. People haven't.
And you do everything on one estimate because you can do it all. And,
that's correct.
And so that's a convenience there. Genesis Total Exteriors with us. And then we have, this is one of my favorite things. Paragon Services Public Adjuster. Matthew. Matthew has worked as a public adjuster for many years. What does a public adjuster do? You're going to want to find out. They work for you instead of the insurance company. So you have an insurance adjuster, which works for insurance, and you have a public adjuster, which works for you. And I would liken it to this. If you're in an accident with a car, you get hurt, you have an adjuster that will look at your car and look at you, and you have somebody who works your case for the insurance company. Then you go see a personal injury attorney. A personal injury attorney represents you because your insurance company isn't going to volunteer what they owe you. They're not. Now, or the other insurance company won't do it. So you get an attorney. That attorney takes a percentage of what they collect for you. Now, public adjusters do much the same when it comes to insurance claims. What they'll do is they will help you negotiate better settlements with your insurance company. There's two ways to hire them. You can hire them up front, let them take care of all of it. If you do that, you might say, well, heck, I don't want to do that. Why should I pay a commission on that? Well, because they can usually get you more money. But you may have already gotten a settlement. In fact, you may have thought a claim was closed a year ago. And you have somebody look at that after the settlement, whether you had it fixed or not. A public adjuster can get you more money and take a percentage of that. I think they're no-lose situations. Paragon Services. We'll talk about public adjusters. Chris has a question for Genesis. Go ahead, Chris. What's your question?
Yeah, Tom, I'm looking for somebody who does exterior railing, like metal railing using probably 2-inch or 2.5-inch, galvanized type pipe.
You know anybody who does that?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So
there, bingo.
So
there you go. Well, I'll be calling right now.
Now, I want to be straight up here, Chris. Hold on. Mark, if he just wants a railing, and you guys are busy, do you have smaller crews for smaller, quicker jobs?
Well, I mean, okay, for this, it's
or does he wait 6 months? See,
no. In something like this, so we have a welder that builds railing for us. We get together, we design it, and then he builds them in his shop. He brings them out and he installs them. So then usually some of my crews there to help install and paint or touch up or whatever needs to be done. Now
Genesis is 303-679-8509. More coming right up.
This report is sponsored by Boost Mobile. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
Other than a bit of delay downtown on southbound I-25 between I-70 and Park, the drive across the metro area freeway system in decent shape. Trouble's up in the high country. We got that crash being cleared westbound I-70 at Lookout Mountain. Speeds are improving, but just approach with caution. Also, US 6 over Loveland Pass is closed due to a crash involving a semi. No estimated time when it will reopen. Highway 6 is closed in Clear Creek Canyon for rockfall mitigation. That won't schedule to be reopened until about 5 p.m. The weather forecast going to be partly sunny today. A slight chance of showers later on this afternoon with a high near 45. Right now, mostly cloudy and 37. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
With the money you save by switching to Boost Mobile, you'll have more freedom to spend your hard-earned tax return on other stuff. Switch today and get 4 lines each with unlimited gigs for just $100 a month. Plus, get 4 free phones. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
There's a big friendly guy, Kevin, and he owns Sheridan Auto Tech. He's got thousands of customers. And you know why? Because they love depending on him. He's like a big trusted uncle. I call him Uncle Kevin. And he's been in business more than 20 years. Here's what he has. Everything you want in auto repair. Honesty, integrity, knowledge, and experience. That's Sheridan Auto Tech. You ought to check him out. 2 locations, Lakewood on Colfax just west of Wadsworth, and in Aurora on Havana just south of 6th Avenue. Give him a call for all auto maintenance. Auto maintenance. 303-455-7242, 455-7242.
Have you ever wanted to refinance your mortgage but didn't want to start a new 30-year loan all over again? Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for my friends at American Financing. And let me tell you, they can help.
Listen,
when
if you have
refinancing
to dump
to
mortgage
insurance, lower your rate, or consolidate...
You fix that, though, right?
You can't fix it. I'm sorry. Did I screw you totally?
Because at American Financing...
If it's over between like 8 and 12 seconds, I have no way to adjust.
You choose the term based on your budget, and they'll find the most competitive interest rate. It's your mortgage, your way. Plus, with a fixed rate, no matter
You'll notice when I do mine, they're exactly 60.
No, mine are always.
It just takes one call to a salary-based mortgage consultant. They'll guide you through options and will customize the right program to achieve your financial goals. They make it easy to get you closed in 10 days. So get
this is weird.
36957,000.
Well, remember, we're on Broadway.
7,000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
Where is your light?
Make sure you at least pull the KHOW.
Well,
Pull the KHOW tag coming back up. I can't have that playing on KRDO. And then I'll have him, maybe we just play the music long, or actually it's short, I don't know.
I'll just move that up one, and then we'll have our promo one spot.
Look,
is that okay?
I have
Yeah, just as long as it doesn't play down there.
I have
That's like
Frank
FCC
headline.
Or Fuller.
Fuller Lofts with a headline in hour 3. Yes.
Okay, where do we want to stick Frank then in the
Anywhere
third
you
hour?
want. Anywhere you want.
Okay.
Anywhere, even content.
Okay, well, I'll just tell him whatever. I
But
told
if
him
you do
noon,
it in
but
the content,
we can't do
it
noon
doesn't
because
matter. It
John
won't
Fuller's
affect my
sitting
law.
in, right?
Well, noon's the headline. We can have them.
Like right after?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just get
Whatever
him
you want. I would say the 15th grade going into
Oh, the
that.
12:15, okay.
For what we were talking about this morning, the two different ones doing the same thing, makes sense? Maybe we do the same thing we're kind of doing now.
But I'm here to tell you that preparation, installation, and finish are exactly
But we don't.
join those that say.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
Have them come up with a tip too, something good. What, no, go.
I have no way of talking about it. Here, hold on.
Oh, damn, I didn't go to the.
No, we'll talk about it later. It's not worth it.
Just say it's here.
It's the new Dan Kaplan Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Wednesday at 4, the hump day version of the Dan Kaplan Show. We'll get caught up on all these big issues of the week. The truth about John Hickenlooper. Democrats going wild at the legislature. They want to free killers while killing late-term babies. And they want to drill Colorado's vital energy industry. What can we do about all that? Join me at 4.
I want you to get genuine stem cell therapy if you're thinking about avoiding surgery, because it is an alternative to surgery, and Centeno Schultz has been treating people for years. They can fix ACL tears, for example, with a needle instead of a knife. You've heard me talk a lot about stem cells, and I urge you to go to medical doctors who really know what they're doing that harvest stem cells on site. So if you're ever at a clinic where they say they're shipping them in, it's phony. You cannot get living stem cells from amniotic fluid that's shipped in, or umbilical cord blood. If you're looking for true living stem cell therapy, Centeno Schultz. We're lucky to have them right in our backyard. People come from all over the country to be treated by them. And they're right here in Broomfield and in the Tech Center. 303-963-9201. Before you have surgery, at least consult them. You could avoid surgery in some cases. 303-963-9201. Or avoid surgery.
Fuck, our refrigerator didn't show up, dude. Supposed to be there at like 1:45.
You were so anxious.
No, it wasn't that. It's 6 o'clock. I'm getting pissed.
You were like American, your appliance factory?
No.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by Trenner Law, Mark Trenner. He can save your bacon. If you've written something or thought of an idea for an invention or a trademark you want to protect, he's for protecting intellectual property. Know this. Don't go on the internet to these 1-800 numbers. They will rip you off. Mark Trenner, Trenner Law, 720-221-3708. 720-221-3708. Trenner Law, Mark Trenner. So, I'm telling you, Elkhart Fence has been around here for years and years and years and years without a peep. Without a peep. No problem.
They suck.
Now, in the last couple of months, we've had problem after problem after problem. Something tells me the business changed hands and they're on their death spiral. Does anyone know what happened to Elkhart? Because it's, you're in the biz, you do some fencing. Did you know that Elkhart's been around for years?
Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed. That name, when you go to people's houses, they have little plaques they put on fences. They're on a ton of homes, that little plaque.
Something happened. I'm going to tell you, we have what we call legendary or heritage names, foundation. In this town, in every city you go to, you have certain names. In New York City, something you never see anywhere else, Duane Reade. You know what that is? Duane Reade? It's a pharmacy, much like a Walgreens. You see them all over. They beat Walgreens. They beat Walgreens' ass. They're all over. And some.
What's it? DeLuca coffee. What is it? Something in DeLuca. Anyway, our city has Bell Plumbing. They changed. They went to new. So the name doesn't mean anything because it's only as good as the new owner. Now, I'm not saying the new owner of Bell. I don't know him from Adam, but I'm just saying they changed. Elkhart, I think, had to have changed. There are heritage names that change, and it doesn't mean anything. So Elkhart is one living example here. Deborah, tell us the nightmare.
Yes.
Tell us your fencing nightmare.
Well, we just moved into our new house in October and needed to have
Did you upgrade or move from somewhere else?
We upgraded. We moved from Cherry Creek to Cherry Hills.
My goodness gracious, you must have made a ton on your house. How much money did you make on your house? I'm curious.
It hasn't sold yet. It's still in Cherry Creek.
Do you think you're going to make some money?
I hope so.
Okay, by the way, the reason I'm asking is not to probe, but to probe, because no one knows your last name, and no one, so we're just curious on this show. It's a show about information. But so you call Elkhart in your new home wanting to get a fence.
Correct.
And I'll bet you called Elkhart. You called Elkhart because of that name.
It had name, and it was also recommended by our realtor who sold us the house. They have used them for years. And
well, yes, but something happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened, but something happened.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on now?
We signed a contract. Yeah, well, we signed a contract, if that's what you want to call it. They do everything kind of the old-fashioned way. But we signed the contract on November 15th, gave them a check for almost $5,000 for half of what the fence was going to cost, and we were promised that it would be done by Christmas. I still don't have a fence.
Yeah. Elkhart has been screwing people right and left. They're done. They're done, I think. Now, this Mac Ellerby, has he been the owner for how long? Do we know? Have we looked this thing up? We're just shooting from the hip here.
I think he's been the owner all along. And it sounds like
something happened
with Terry on line 3, who got nothing for his $7 grand, zero. He talked to one of their suppliers, and apparently they were on cash basis only last year.
Now, Terry, you're calling. Deborah, you're still here. So, Terry, did you have a similar problem? You put money down and got nothing?
Yes, I did. I put down almost $7,500 down, and I haven't received a thing.
When did you put your money down?
The 12th of June.
And Mark spoke to him.
Oh
Mark spoke to Mac last week, and he said he would get Terry $2 grand of his money back last week.
Mark, you talked to Mac Ellerby.
I talked to him. I talked to him, I think, on Tuesday. The guy said by Friday, the guy that is out $7 grand would have $2 grand.
Now, did you know about Deborah when you talked to Ellerby?
Yeah, I knew about her.
Okay,
apparently he showed up and started working
with her case.
Mark, here's what I want to know. Did you say, what's going on? Did you like...
Yeah, he's got no money. That's what's going on.
But how
he can't run a business in one of the best economies we ever had.
Okay,
he's a sleaze, in my opinion.
But Mark,
and now I
he
can
didn't last all this.
Say he's a lying sack of crap because he promised he'd pay him on Friday.
Now, Mark, what I'm saying is, things don't... There's something going on.
Yeah, because he's a lying sack of crap.
Well, Tom, it got worse.
He couldn't have been in business 40, 50, 60 years, however long.
He must have had a partner or a relative or something
hey, guys,
that was managing
a few weeks
the business.
Ago, their business line worked. I just tried calling it, and it's disconnected.
Right. Somebody is listening who knows the story, the backstory. What happened to Elkhart Fence? I don't even know if Mac Ellerby is the original owner, or if well, it can't be, I don't think, the original. Was he the owner for many years? Did a new owner take over? How do we get in touch with him? We're going to research this for both Deborah and Terry, but listen, we understand your stories.
The hardest part to deal with is liars like this. When they actually tell you to your face, I'm going to have $2 grand for them, so you back off. Then what happens? We've had this discussion 100 times. You always say, well, what's going to hurt? Why don't we give them time? And this is my frustration part.
Yes.
Because they're lying sacks of crap. We could have went after this guy all last week.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to slow us down that much.
No, he's never going to pay anybody back. I can just tell.
What is going on? Okay. Let's do this. Let's call a fence supplier, maybe. Maybe they know the story behind. Who's a big supplier? Do you know?
Split Rail.
They're a supplier? They're called Split Rail?
Yeah, up north.
Well, Terry spoke to one of their suppliers. Maybe he knows the name.
Terry, did you do any research on Elkhart and what went wrong? For those moving into town, this is a heritage company that's been around for as long as I have, and more, and I'm going on 40 years here, so I don't know what's happening. Terry, did you do any research?
No, I didn't. The salesman himself, was trying to find out what was going on, and he's the one that said that he called their supplier back in, I think he said South Dakota, and they said that they would not extend him any more credit, so they wouldn't send the fence. So
yeah, can't blame them. Okay. Suzanne, another follow-up, Elkhart, and if anyone listening knows anything about Elkhart, meanwhile, Mac Ellerby, does he answer us when we call him?
He did. He doesn't now.
He's not answering 303-909-6886. He's not answering his cell phone. Do we have that cell phone number right for Mac Ellerby, owner of Elkhart Fence, who has taken money from several customers and not
That's the correct number,
That's
Tom.
the correct. Let me check again to make sure. 303-909-6886. That's the number you called, Mark?
Yeah, I'm not going to be as subtle, though. Call this guy and ask him why he promised to give this poor guy that gave him $7,500, $2,000 back last Friday and didn't do anything.
No, Mark, subtlety.
Liar.
No one will ever accuse you of subtlety. Okay, 303-909-6886. Ask about Elkhart. What happened? What happened? Jamie's got a scam alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop. What's going on, Jamie?
Hey, Tom. I went on the internet last week and saw a business opportunity.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I did it out of curiosity and some investigation.
All right, you hold on. I want to come back to you, all right? I want to give you more time. I'm Tom Martino. Here's the number, 303-713-TALK.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Russ Kaminsky Mornings, Sean Hannity at 1, KHOW, Denver.
This report is sponsored by Boost Mobile. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to say.
I should have warned later.
Elkhart
Fence's reviews are 2.5.
What?
2.5 at Facebook and Google.
What are they?
2.5. I see their name.
What does that mean, they're 2.5?
2.5 reviews. 2.5.
On where?
Facebook and Google.
Google's like pretty easy to have 5 stars.
Running out of money. No, people just feel like they
I know that. Why?
Yeah.
Mark, what the point I'm making is, you don't just do great business and then boom.
Oh, I know what you're saying. He must have had a partner or his dad or something has changed. There's no doubt.
Medical.
Yeah, he had a fucking stroke.
You save by switching to Boost.
Did I miss?
And half his brain's gone.
What am I doing?
Tax return on other stuff. Switch today and get 4 lines each with unlimited gigs for just $100 a month. Plus, get 4 free phones. Boost makes it easy to
turning
switch.
on.
Switching.
Buy and build. That's the place you go for stuff. You know, like fencing. You can get fencing up there. You can get cabinets. You can get slabs of granite. You can get plumbing fixtures, electrical fixtures for pennies on the dollar. You know what? Mark Szymanski with Genesis, he can go there and buy stuff. You can go there and buy stuff. Contractors and consumers, and you get the best deals ever. 4800 Washington Street. Below wholesale. Buyandbuild.net. 303-295-6022.
iHeartRadio presents a
How much time do I have?
The podcast Text
Oh, shoot. I'm not getting much time. Well, Mark knows.
I want to share with you stories
I ain't going to sacrifice
old and new. Text Up takes a close look at the biggest names and companies.
He's like a child. He'll literally start standing up and moving when he's got a pig.
Gotta pacify him.
He does everything but this one.
Hear the premiere episode of Tech Stuff tonight at 7.
Hey, Donna.
That's a good idea.
Hey, it's Mark Major. I'll call you right after the show. I tried emailing you a couple times, too. I think we keep missing each other. All right, I'll call you about 105, 110.
I see that name all over the place.
All right, bye.
All the time. Oh, if I remember, yeah, it's green.
What is it? Who is it?
Little rivets. Oh, car. Yep.
Something went happen. I'd love to know what happened. How can we find out what happened?
The supplier probably ABC Supply or.
Are they offensive? That's a roofing.
Yeah, they do fencing too, though. They supply about everything. But
ABC does?
Yeah, I didn't know they did fencing though. Yeah,
how do you spell Elkhart? A-L or E-L?
C-A-R.
C-A-R. Elkhart Fence. I wonder how much money this guy took.
E-L-C-A-R.
Not pre-qualified, approved. All you need is the appraisal. 303.
He did something. Gambling I don't know. If they have been around as long as you guys are saying,
your house fast and hassle-free.
Ownership has changed hands. There's no other answer.
will buy your property as is.
before cash and pay all your closing costs. Call right now at 720-388-8225 and get started on your easy cash offer. Does your property need repairs? Are you tired of being a landlord? DWTBuysHouses.com will save you time, headaches.
Now, why would they have no rating at the BBC?
720-388-8225 or online.
This business's BBB credentials are currently suspended. But there's a shitload of people that aren't paying them that have a rating. I don't get it.
No, you're not paying a rating.
Bullshit. We don't pay and we have a rating.
No, we don't.
Bullshit.
Adjusting using targeted, precise instruments that target a specific area and relieve the nerve, pain, and pressure. Finally, the real deal is
they be on Angie's list.
Yeah, they are.
Here you go. Look, referrallist.com, not rated. Son of a bitch. Did they just change that?
No, they don't rate it like that.
Oh, I'm so going to argue this until I'm proven wrong. Are you on there, Matt?
No. Not on BBB.
But if you think that's the only way, you're wrong.
It costs something like $600 a month or a year. I mean,
Switch to Rex.
is that flat or is it tiered? I think it's supposed to tier, but that's what I went in at. That's basic. So I kept it. Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, people are losing today in that a little bit.
So people that have an F rating are paying for their F rating.
Yeah. I mean, if you want that to go away, quit paying.
Well, that service really sucks then, because if they're not paying, you have no idea what the fuck they're rated.
Right.
It doesn't even make sense.
I think they can still have.
You know, I seem to remember, Mark, really. I seem to remember we pulling ratings when they were not on there.
I know we did. It changed recently.
I don't know if it changed recently. I seem to remember that. Now, it could have been old ratings we're looking up and they were dropped out, or I don't know, Mark.
I mean, they're getting big into advertising too. They're contacts all the time. Oh, you want to advertise with this or that?
Yeah, I know.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. Now, Jamie has a scam alert. Our guest today, Genesis Total Exteriors and Paragon Services. Now, they're public adjusters, and we really, you're going to love to hear some stories here. We're going to talk about typical cases and stuff. But, Jamie, before I go to you, I want to give you time, but I need Bill, just because he has a comment on that previous call, I want to get it out. Bill, what is your comment? Quick. Now, what fence guy? I don't recall Casey. I don't even know who they are. Okay. Well, Lowe's didn't do it. Lowe's sold the fence. Right, I know what you're saying. Sure. Well, let's put it this way. You would hope that if a big company sends people out and they get a lot of complaints, they'll stop sending them out, but that's not always the case. But thank you, Bill. Does anyone know what happened to Elkhart? That's what I want to know. Our number, 303-713-TALK. And let's talk to Jamie about this scam. What's going on, Jamie? You said you saw an ad. Okay, this is the first red flag for a scam. Opportunity. What happened then? No, wait a minute. You get 500 a week. Okay, and all you have to do is have them put a wrap on your car. We've heard this before, legit. We've heard this before with a scam. But where would the scam come in here? What did they want from you? That's the question you always ask to know what the scam is. There's always something they want. What do they want? But what did they want from you, Jamie? Okay, for too much. And what do they want you to do with the leftover? Yeah, oh, they will eventually. But does everyone... This is the old twist on the cashier check scam where you're paid more and you have to send back money. How many times have we heard alterations of this scam? Thank you, Jamie. And here's the point. That the original payment is bupkis. It's bad. It's nothing. Now, here's where they trick people. They say, well, hold it 3 days. Hold it 7 days. Some people think, I know what I'll do. I'll hold it 21 days. Here is the deep, dark secret of the banking industry. All holders in due course of a financial instrument are responsible for its payment. So, if I write a check to Mark and Mark signs that check over to Paragon and Paragon signs it over to Major and Major signs it over to Deputy Clint, if you keep doing that, any one of those people with a bad check, a person can go after. It's in the chain. However, there's something else. A check doesn't clear until the money is removed and it gets through the ACH. Now, the ACH is the automated clearinghouse. The way you keep it from going through the ACH and delay it is by taking a legit routing number and changing one of the numbers. Now you have a legit account, but you have a routing number that's wrong. The computer spits it out. It doesn't know what to do. And they have not yet come up with a computer to deal with these, so it goes into a research pile where people have to go through and find out, where is this really supposed to go? And if it takes 6 months, they can come back and yank the money back. So the money's never really yours, unless it's really yours. And the theory there is they can yank it back because it wasn't legit to begin with. Okay? Now, I imagine there's some sort of statute of limitations, but this is how weird it gets, you see. This is really how weird it gets. You get paid and you think, okay, I'll wait. It's never there. Now, you can do a wire transfer, but here's the only way to protect that, because they can yank that back. If you get a wire transfer from a company that you believe is trying to scam you, and you want to scam them back, you can take that money, if they wired it, take the money, but you got to take it out of that bank. Even if you open another account within the same bank, this is another banking secret. If you take and close an account because you want to stop an ACH, or you want to stop a withdrawal, you want to stop an auto payment, and you open up another account with the same institution, even if it's a different branch, they can yank the money back out of the new account. It's called cross-collateralization. Everyone who has accounts with a bank, you sign saying you're allowing them to take any account you have to make up for any other account you have. You better really, really take this to heart. Danny, welcome. What's happening, Danny?
Great show.
Thank you, man. What's happening?
Well, last year I was checking on some an ad on TV. It was United Vein Center, and they were claiming that they could take care of restless leg through removing varicose veins. So I went to
really that I've never heard that theory, but varicose veins, they have really easy, not almost or minimally invasive procedures now, and there are some really great docs that do that.
Well, here's the situation. I'm waiting to get a evaluation, and then they said I needed an ultrasound to see about the blockage, and then.
So what? Where do we end up with a problem?
Well, here's the problem. Is basically I told the doctor with this United Vein Center in Louisville that he said that he took Cigna. I said, well, the only way I would go through this procedure if I was fully covered. He said he's going to check on all that, get back with me.
Okay, so let's get to the problem. Did he do the procedure, and then you found out he's not a preferred provider?
What he did was he told me he was in network. I told him at that time if it's not covered, if it's any...
I understand. You're trying to make the case that you established a contract, but you didn't, Danny, because everything that you signed in writing, everything probably, and I'm saying probably, I don't know what you signed, but probably everything you signed in writing said you're responsible ultimately for the payment. I mean, unless somehow you did this all without any signatures, did you sign anything?
No. And the deal.
Hold on. You didn't sign a medical release?
Not with this United Vein Center.
I'm not. No, Danny. Listen, man. I'm trying to help you, but I need accurate information. I don't need stories. So here's what I want to say.
Sure.
You signed paperwork with the provider. You did. You did. No medical provider will do a procedure without you signing paperwork.
That's with Cigna. That's my insurance.
No. With the doctor office. Did you have the procedure done?
I had, out of 6 procedures, I had 2 of them done.
Okay. Before you had your first procedure, you signed something. I know you signed a disclaimer, Danny. I know you did. Are you telling me you went to a doctor and they never had you sign anything?
I can't claim that. All I could claim is that...
All right, let me just get right to it, okay? Because in every single case I've seen for 40 years, everyone assumes payment to the medical provider, okay? I'm just going to say that because I want to cut through the crap and help you. Now, when you assume a liability, you can't go back and say, but you told me it was covered. Now, you could do that, but it hardly ever works. So I need to get to the issue. Suzanne,
Tom,
help me.
I think he even has a screenshot of that doctor being on the in-network. Has a screenshot of it.
Here's what I'm saying.
Does that help?
Yeah, all of this helps. What I'm saying is what doesn't help is what the doctor told him. Unless he sues in small claims court on a separate issue, fraud in the inducement, he goes and says, you induced me to do this. Now, the doctor's defense will be, but you signed this taking responsibility. But what I'm trying to get at is how to get him covered. Because if, in fact, that procedure is covered, we might be able to help him. That's what I'm trying to get at. So, is this procedure normally covered, Danny, if you went to an in-network doctor?
I believe so it is. I did not verify
now,
that.
you
All
have
I
a
know is
screenshot showing that this guy was in network, right?
Yes, we do.
Then
have
what
that.
happened? Did Cigna kick him out? What happened?
Well, I called Cigna and they told me that that supposedly that this guy is my family doctor. I said, no, he's a specialist. I never changed
But
family
what
doctors.
difference does it make? Is he in network or not?
On the website, he said he was in network, and we took a screenshot and went to mysigna.com.
If you go now, is he still under there?
I don't know, because I'm talking to you on the phone.
I know, but I mean, when was the last time you checked?
Well, this was last summer, and I've been through 2 appeals with Cigna right now.
And what is Cigna saying for the denial?
They said basically that, according to my medical insurance, that you know, he is out of network, and then I got to incur the cost. But
all right, hold on. But did you say?
To their website
I know.
that.
Well, did you tell them that he's on your website?
Oh yeah. Matter of fact,
and what do they? How do they respond to that, Danny? Just that one question. How do they respond to that? Hey, he is listed on your website.
All I know is when I sent him the paperwork with the screenshots, and the appeal came back with the decision denied, and they never mentioned anything about
Oh, my God. Hold on, Danny. I can sense your frustration, and I don't blame you.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good.
How was court?
Other than a little bit of delay on I-25 south.
So what was it for, Dan?
It was for Bruns Gallery, Bruns Auction Gallery.
Yeah. Who sued who? That woman?
That woman, yeah. So,
And what happened?
So live and learn. Every judge is different.
Was it delayed?
It was put off. He didn't show up, but it was put
Why
off.
didn't she get a default?
Because when we served him, because she had wrote the company and him on the thing, the judge wanted 2 separate affidavits for that, and one check that it was.
So she made a mistake in procedure.
Yeah, but like I say, the same thing happened in Colorado Springs, and the judge let it go through.
Yeah, it just depends on what judge you get.
That's exactly right.
And what kind of
Okay, guys. Thanks. Fix It 24/7, the $39 people, and for $39 you will get your furnace completely cleaned, checked, adjusted, and refurbished. Clean, checked, adjusted, and refurbished. Fix It 24/7 with with a no breakdown guarantee. This is a thorough cleaning. This is not a cursory look just to find trouble. 720-526-3939. 526-3939. Thanks. When I do that, that meant I forgot to set my time.
I'm still giving you the 10 every time, too.
But you're right, in small claims court, I can see that now, every judge is...
Yeah, but I don't want to strap you with that if you are ever doing anything else still, really. I mean, if you can't do that, that is business.
And he would then, the registry is like the only owner. But he said, the judge said, that if this got picked up, if they appealed it to district court come back, says, hey, you didn't do it, you didn't serve them right. And then that looks
By the way, you're right about this. Judges have discretion, and sometimes they're pricks.
Yeah, if they woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Did this judge seem like not wanting to?
He's like 80 years old.
What? Did he seem anti-consumer?
No, he didn't see it. I think he was worried that something would get appealed, get put down, and he'd look like an idiot for allowing it to go.
Right. Has this guy been sued before the auctioneer? I mean,
I don't know.
He's been burning people a lot, I would think. If
You're probably right, because I think he's going to go out of business. So the other case got thrown out too, that was right there before me, because it was an LLC suing a person, and the LLC did not keep them in, didn't pay her $10, for 8 years. So they weren't. So they pierced it. So they threw that out, and now they got to bring them up to.
Sorry, Carlos. They threw out the case against an LLC because it was a disregarded entity.
Right, because they didn't keep it. Every year active. Keep it active. Exactly.
So what happened?
No wonder.
When they served it.
No, that wasn't.
Try it for yourself and see why.
That what he was just talking about wasn't.
It was a different case.
What happened to court?
Because
he didn't show.
He didn't show. But the judge wouldn't give the default because it was.
They wanted two services.
They wanted two services, one for the company, one for him.
That's try the 48-48-48.
Isn't that stupid? They could have gotten a default on at least one of them.
They didn't do anything.
We served him.
He served him, but he said because it was listed as Bruns Gallery and stuff that we needed that also to serve.
He was a registered agent.
I know, but it's got to be marked.
Well, someone didn't argue it right, because I wouldn't have left there with that.
He said, I'll show you on the...
Perry Mason would have done it differently.
Yeah, bullshit, man.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, but if a judge says
how come
no,
that's never happened?
I agree. Like I say,
if a judge says to you, Mark, they're not going to do it, you don't argue with them. I mean, what do you do?
You say, I'll take the other one off then.
Oh.
Give me a default judgment on that one.
But the agreement has Bruns Auction Gallery.
Criminal charge and
so what are we going to do? Reserve him?
We're going to have to reserve him, but she's going out of the country tomorrow, so she's going to have to do it like in May.
What credentials do you need to serve somebody?
Nothing.
I can walk up and serve you.
You need a pulse.
You can't be involved in that case.
Legs. You got to have legs.
No, you don't.
At least one.
No.
Or a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't
a torso. You must have a torso.
You have to.
Four rates increase again.
You have to be
like new carpet, kitchens,
served by a living person who can testify to the fact.
And not involved with it.
And not involved with the case.
Totally object right.
720-895-0500. Have you heard? There are loans specifically.
I was thinking this morning, I just woke up and said, what keeps somebody from gutter serving, making a false thing, gutter serving, wait 3 years, and then going back and said, hey, give the default.
I can't.
Okay, if you gutter serve, it's just like regular serve. You just don't do it. You say you did it.
Right.
But then there's a clock on the court. You don't. When I serve you, it's to go to court.
Right.
Well, then how do you wait 3 years?
No, you go to court, give the default judgment.
That's what they do all the time, and they wait a year.
And then wait 3 years.
They wait beyond the contesting period. They do it all the time.
I know. So how do you keep
by doing credit checks on your own. If you do your own credit check, or you have an alert. I have credit alerts. If somebody puts something negative, I'm alerted.
But that's a credit check will actually check if you.
No. They don't check the court records. They check your credit report. The credit reports sweep the court records. Well, credit reports are constantly being updated with court records.
Right. But if they wait 3 years to do any action,
no. You don't wait 3. You get your default judgment then.
Right.
You wait 3 years to collect.
Right.
But it goes on your credit way before you try to collect. Way before. As soon as it's recorded.
Okay. Okay.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay. So what happens?
You have a doctor saying, don't worry, it's covered. We've had this happen before time and time again. So you get it done, and then you find out the insurance won't cover it. I do know this. There is paperwork, there are documents that make you responsible for every procedure you have most of the time. In fact, I haven't seen it the other way around. They always make you ultimately responsible. That's the first thing. But is there fraud in the inducement? That means you have talked someone into something based on lies. Does that trump the disclaimers? I'm not going to ask John Jones that at Integra Insurance. I'm going to ask John what he would do in this situation, because John is an insurance expert. They do health insurance, and there are brokers at the Troubleshooter Network, and for everyone I know. So what would you do if you were, excuse me, I got the wrong guy. Let me bring up Dan. Wait. Oh, yeah, Danny. What would you do if you were Danny, John?
Let me ask you, Tom, real quick. I think
hold on. Danny, you want to add something?
Yeah, did that surgery have to be pre-authorized?
Danny wanted to add something first. Okay. Danny?
Well, what I was saying is the story in short is I went to the doctor, told him the situation about the restless leg.
We've heard it, man.
Yeah, and so basically with Cigna, he said he was covered.
But Danny, you're retelling the story. Is there something new? You said you want to add something. What?
Go ahead.
We got the story, bro. He talked you into it. He said he was covered. He said he was part of the network. You have a screenshot of it. Cigna's denying it. John, what would you do?
Can I ask you a quick question, Tom, or Danny, real quick? I would assume Danny's on an individual policy. Is that correct?
I'm with a company, and I check with the company's health advocate, and basically they are the administrator, and Cigna does what they say they do. That's what I was explaining.
And you have appealed it with Cigna, correct?
Yes, twice.
You've appealed it, and they both came back no.
They came back no, and we submitted all the paperwork with the screenshot on their website saying that he was in network.
It was that, Tom, if I was doing this, number one, I'd go to the DOI in the heartbeat.
What's that?
The Division of Insurance.
Oh, okay.
I'd appeal it through the DOI, and I'd have Danny send in all that screenshot and everything to the Division of Insurance. They will take it directly to Cigna.
Wait, you went to the Division of Insurance?
I would have Danny do it.
No, excuse me. Danny, you said you did this already?
Yeah, I went to DORA, the Department of Regulatory Agencies.
And what happened?
In the insurance, and they said that they can intervene if it wasn't self-administered through the company. You know, they weren't the administrator, then they could do something about it. But since they're the administrator, they can't do anything about it. So I was going to go with Dora on the medical side and turn him in on the physician side, that this guy told me wrong information. I told him that if I had to pay anything out of pocket.
Yeah, we already heard that part, Danny. You don't ever have to repeat that story as long as you live with me. You went to him. You told him you didn't want to do it. If you had to pay a dime, he said it was covered. We get that story. Now, John, he probably signed something saying he's personally responsible if insurance doesn't cover. But, man, this sucks when doctors mislead or doctors' offices mislead people.
I agree, Tom. In fact, we had someone, same situation up in the mountains.
Yeah.
With Anthem.
What happened?
The person up in the mountains, and we checked the list and everything.
And what happened?
On that list. And can I ask Danny one other quick question?
Well, what did you do? Did you get that?
This year,
John, did you get that other one worked out?
Yeah, what we had to do, and it took us forever to get it done, but we definitely had to work directly with Anthem.
Okay.
Tell them that it was on the list, just like Danny is.
All right, hold on, because we're running out of time. We're running out of time. We'll come back. We'll deal with this. We have some comments as well and more on the Troubleshooter Network.
2019 is here. When it comes to something like this, he should take it on contingency. He'd have to be guaranteed payment, though. He'd have to be guaranteed payment. They need a real advocate, almost like what he does.
I know they do. Health insurance does need someone like
They need it. They need someone like John.
I had someone come to me years
But
ago.
you pay him fucking cash, man. You pay him $5,000 to take care of a $40,000 bill.
I've had people come to me before, professionals in the health insurance business, that say they were well versed in hospital finance and stuff, and they said they know tricks to get paid, get stuff paid
or lower,
and they were proposing that they take a fee, a percentage of what they collect.
Same thing I'm doing, but different ways.
No, I think it would be. I think John during the slow season could nail some money.
Highly specialized.
Well, he's good at it. Do you remember ever getting these kind of calls, though, prior to fucking Obamacare? Honestly.
No, never.
Never. I mean, he fucking completely, single-handedly ruined fucking health insurance.
And you know what? Healthcare, you mean.
Big deal. Some fucking bum that never goes to the doctor, never has a job, gets covered, but he doesn't even sign up to get covered, so he's not covered.
There are people that will tell you that he was a godsend for Obamacare.
Who? Find me one fucking person.
All the progressives say,
Yeah, well, they all suck.
I said somebody who had pre-existing conditions. Those are the people that.
But if you work for a company, it wouldn't have mattered.
Right, exactly.
Man,
right.
and every single person who didn't have insurance couldn't afford it and now has it free.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you know, those are the people that outnumber us.
Yeah.
I mean, they have insurance. How do you tell them, oh, it's not a good plan? What? I didn't have insurance before, now I do.
Yeah.
What kills me,
And you're
too,
paying for it.
the Medicaid kills me, you can go back. So you literally don't even have to sign up. If something happens, you can go back and they'll fucking cover you. That's the kind of insurance I want.
Medicare or Medicaid?
Medicaid.
Because then you'd have to show that you were.
It happens all the time.
I had a friend
At the time, it'll go retroactive, but you have to be eligible both when it happens.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
He had prostate cancer, and so he went back, so he got the 100% coverage.
Because he qualified. Right. Can you imagine if how about life insurance? Oh, well, so-and-so died. Let's fucking retroactive. I wish I had coverage.
Right.
Car insurance, yeah.
Oh, car insurance, yeah. Why buy car insurance until after you fucking hit somebody?
Well, even this judge here that was there, I even told her, I said, hey, I'm representing
You
her.
foobarred that whole thing.
I said, I was there when he served, and I was representing Tom Martino.
And they didn't do anything?
They didn't do anything.
Did you tell them you were practicing law?
Yes.
Was it a quote?
He sent me here.
I like how when I say things, he gets in trouble. That was a funny shit.
What was it that you said?
Well, that was that other court case.
Well, I was talking about the one I went to.
Oh.
And we started getting letters.
You might get another one.
Sounds like, I didn't even know you was there, and I'm getting investigated.
You try to name drop, and it bites you.
There was no name drop. There was no name drop. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
on the fucking
You were on your
I know,
on the radio. They were
no
dropping.
name drop.
They're a bunch of scumbags here.
I know, I come back in the courtroom. These two attorneys are looking at me, and they just listened to me live on the air, call them scumbags.
Mark.
That dial. That's a mistake. If you've been listening, you've probably heard a compelling radio ad for Noxitril, the potent all-natural male enhancement. Men constantly reach out and ask me,
Listen, I only need a 3-second heads up.
There's nothing better than Noxitril. I recommend this super pill to men everywhere. It will transform your life in the bedroom once and for all.
That sucks, man. I don't like one part of that, Dano.
Here, I'll show
I
you
think
where.
that judge is a jerk.
So I'll show you where.
Or did she?
So he said.
So call Noxitril now and take advantage of an incredible free bottle offer shipped discreetly to your door.
Find out how to get a free
Oh, shit.
Noxitril. Call 800-993-0840. 800-993-0840. Free bottles for a limited time. Call now. 800-993-0840. 800-993-0840.
This report is sponsored by Blue Emu. Partly sunny today with a high of 43. Tonight mostly cloudy and a low around 24. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high in the low 50s. Friday mostly sunny at a high in the mid 50s.
Hi, I'm Mike Ditka. Some days even my tools a little rusty, so I turn to Blue Emu. Blue Emu's non-greasy, deep penetrating formula gets down deep for big time comfort, and more importantly, it doesn't leave me smelling bad. Blue Emu works fast and won't stand.
All right, this company is the best out there. You have to check it out right now. You ready, ready, ready? You go to PriceFixerDenver.com. It'll ask you a few questions. You're going to get the best price on a new heating or air conditioner installed with the 10-year warranty and their lowest price guarantee. Their transparent pricing is what I love. Go check it out. If you already bought one, see how much you overpaid. PriceFixerDenver.com. Go there right now. PriceFixerDenver.com. PriceFixerDenver.com.
It says rule number 1 is don't lose what you already have. If you were to lose 50%.
So here's what he said. He said it should have been had one here by handing the document, and then also down here.
Well, this is just the affidavit of
Right. That's what I'm saying. So 2 affidavits should have been done.
And if you want
Jacob
to keep
Miller.
it, you must be
This is my
defensive.
son.
Hi,
Oh.
this is Carlin Tucker.
This is- she has it.
Offense
She has
and
it.
defense. Our Tucker all-season
All I'm saying is that's what
monthly income.
they should have been.
I wish I could see hers.
Market defense providing
No, it's
downside
just-
protection. So no matter what life
What's
has
She had
to
2
throw at us,
defendants,
we
right?
Yes.
And then right down here, what did she have? Did she have the registered agent right here?
Now you can retire happy. Retire with Tucker. Call us for your complimentary consultation at 303-7.
If she had the registered agent's address, anytime I
don't know what was here.
I'm getting ready to sue whoever it is. Okay?
Right.
The one I need you to go down. In fact, I should have gave it to you today. You could have filed it for me. Because you were in Denver, weren't you? So anyhow, I'm suing him. The particular guy I'm suing, I did list him, but because he owns the company is the plaintiff number 1. Down here is who I'm serving, which happens to be him, because he's his own registered agent. So 2 birds, 1 stone.
But like, okay, yeah. So in the future and stuff, when we have the 2, it's better just.
But a lot of times the small business owner is also the registered agent.
Right. But what I'm saying is we did the same thing for that the car shop.
You're your registered agent for Cramerica.
Right. But
if I was suing Cramerica, I would list Cramerica and Dan, and I would only serve one person, which is you, because you're both. My point is, he was probably both.
But, right. But then that's why this has got to be. He wanted this here checked here with another one.
So whoever did this part fucked up.
Well,
did I check the wrong box?
No,
I'm the one that served them.
It should have been both boxes should have been checked, or 2 separate ones. That's what the judge said. But I
don't know if that judge is right. But you know what? You go back and tell that judge that Tom Martino
has been practicing law for 40 years.
Got him dead to nuts.
Oil and gas. Just how bad is this bill? Our expert guest will drill down to the
Grant, send me that 30, please.
And the thing about it is, the clerk of court told him, he says, no, you can put them both on there and stuff like that. He said, well, no, they so what?
Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hello, I'm Tom.
This is my life, helping people every day on the radio and the internet and television. What we do is we solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. To make your life a little easier, 303-713-TALK is the number while we're on the air, but you can also use 303-MARTINO, as you can use 24/7. If you're new to town, this is really the only show of its kind anywhere. Really it is. Okay? Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app, live at referralist.com, also archived and podcasts everywhere. Just download us somewhere. Old shows, new shows. If you ever have a question about any of the old cases, just ask us. 303-713-TALK. Today, we have some special guests. Genesis Total Exteriors. Mark Szymanski is a contractor inside and out. And if you have any questions, home improvement contractor, ask him. Also, we have Paragon Services, and the reason they're both in together, Paragon Services, Matthews Stanford, he fights insurance companies for you when it comes to property and casualty damages at the house, because insurance companies never offer you 100% of your loss, ever. And even if they say they do, they don't. They overlook stuff. And the entire industry is predicated on this practice. He makes a living getting extra money for you. Now, here's the deal. A lot of people ask, extra money, but then he takes a portion. Yes, he does, but almost always will get you more money than you can get on your own, like a personal injury attorney does for injured people. With public adjusters, they fight insurance companies. Now, here's the deal, okay? What really is interesting is this extra money. You may think, what good is the extra money? It's because he found more damage, so I have to fix the damage. So if I have to fix the damage and I have to pay him, don't I come out behind the 8 ball? That's a good question. I have a take on that. I'd like to ask Matt his take on that. Are you going to be down this path or another one?
No, same path. I want to explain one, though. And Matt did this one for one of our callers.
After, I know. That's the one I'm thinking. But I want to ask him first. Is that a valid question? You get me extra money because you found extra damage. And if you found extra damage, well, you used an estimating product to find out what that's going to cost to fix. So wait a minute. You got me the extra money. I pay you a commission. How do I get the stuff fixed? I don't put money in my pocket. Now, the truth is people almost always can put money in their pocket. But why?
Well, overhead and profit's one of the main things you did not mention. It's calculated in all the premiums. They tend to not pay it, and they tend to ignore it altogether. Overhead and profit's designed when you have 2 or 3 or more trades. Now, is your
trade considered one of those?
No. This is strictly to repair or replace.
No, I understand that. So, again, how do they end up with extra money if, in fact, you find extra damage? Don't they have to fix the damage?
Well, an example would be like fencing. An insurance company is required to replace a damaged fence. Does it need actually fully replaced? Sometimes not. You can apply those funds elsewhere.
Of course you can, and it won't haunt you unless you have a fence claim. If you have a fence claim, they might subtract that from the fence claim. Now, I'm not suggesting if you have roof damage, you don't get your roof fixed. What we're talking about, there are coverages you don't know about. He just talked about overhead and profit. And sometimes you can get stuff done cheaper than what he collects for you. Almost all the time. But here's another thing. And this is not about insurance fraud. This is about what you have coming to you because you paid for it. There are site allowances. There are depreciation allowances because it's kind of worn out more of the product than it would have been worn out had it not been for a casualty loss. There are other coverages you can work in that really, when you get that money doesn't automatically get paid out. Right?
Correct.
Now, what were you?
Here's a perfect example. He goes out. The insurance company offered this woman around
$800.
No, different one. This was about 25 grand she gets offered. Her name was Jade. I went out and helped her on this. So, all said and done. She thinks she's done. He comes in, puts 15 grand in her pocket. Literally puts it in her pocket. You know why?
Why?
Because she paid for all the code upgrades that the insurance company didn't on the new construction. She was literally that out of pocket, not knowing she had that coverage. He went back to the insurance company and said, hey, why did she pay out of pocket when you guys were supposed to pay for this, and it's getting her a check for 15 grand? That's really, in any way you look at it, money in her pocket.
Well, yeah,
she already spent it.
Yeah, it's reimbursement. You're right. But there are actually cases where people put money in their pocket and they don't have to use those dollars or did not use those dollars for repairs because the repairs are not required. And I go back to site allowance. I mean, there are people that have a perfectly good roof that will not leak and is perfect condition except for site allowance. They've called it. There are some that windows have been damaged around the edges, the panes, and you can't
seals.
Well, no, I'm talking about the trim, actually, the frame, where it's not structurally unsound, but it's damaged.
But it wasn't the way it was before the storm.
Exactly.
So they have to pay for it.
So you might get, Matt, I know, can sometimes get the cost of windows, and then the homeowner, hires someone to scrape, seal, fill, and it's back to looking like new, but they didn't replace the window. That's legit. You can do with that damage what you want.
Or if you do it yourself, for that matter.
Okay. And unlike other settlements, they don't demand receipts and stuff. After you get done with them, they just write a check because they want out. They don't want you to hurt them anymore.
They want to close the book and move on. And the insurance companies want, after they pay a claim, they want to hold on to that customer for another 20 years to recoup that money.
So what you do is very valuable. Now, you charge less than most.
I'm 10%.
That is cheap.
I think it's too cheap.
Some offer 10% if I get in at the beginning, but if you call me in after you have a settlement and I'm only getting paid on the boost, then I want to get paid on the boost 20% or 15%. I think that's fair, but you don't even do that.
No, it's 10 flat across the board. That could change. I mean,
So if somebody calls and their insurance company offers them 10 grand right off the bat, you're not going to touch that 10 grand.
I don't
if
have
it's a real offer.
In my opinion, I don't have a right to that money.
Okay. I love this guy. If you have any questions about insurance claims, give us a call. Even ones you think might have been closed. 303-713-TALK. Now, let's go to the phones. And Charlie has a comment on that health insurance claim. The one where the doctor said, don't worry, you know, you're covered. And then he wasn't covered. I mean, this sucks. And we are going to help him fight it. Go ahead, Charlie.
Okay, he was the doctor that committed that supposed fraud?
That's right, supposedly. You're right.
Okay. Well, you know, thank God I don't have to put up with that kind of baloney anymore. But anyway, what I always did in situations similar to that.
Are you talking as a patient or a healthcare provider?
I'm talking as a patient and a healthcare provider.
Are you a doctor?
I'm a retired doctor.
Oh, cool. What kind of physician?
I was a pediatrician.
Okay, sir. Go ahead.
But I spent the last 20 years of my career in the armed services, and so I didn't have to put up with the kind of baloney that you're talking about. Anyway, what I used to do in similar situations, I didn't do it for a doctor because I never ran into that as a patient, but I would send a letter to whoever it was going to demand payment, et cetera, and say, so-and-so, I've got the following evidence. Sounds like this guy has lots of evidence. Down at the bottom, I would put copy to John F. Smith, attorney at law.
Oh, attorney, I see.
And that always seemed to get a response.
Well, yeah, that's cool. I mean, that is an old trick a lot of people use. They CC an attorney. Appreciate it, and especially your armed services after your career. That's wonderful. 303-713-8255. I want to take some people who have been waiting a while. Chuck, you have an insurance claim question or a problem. What is it? We'll let Matt take a shot at this. Go ahead.
So Tom, I changed my dishwasher last night, pulled it out, and noticed mold behind it. No indication previously of any leaks. So I cut all the drywall around to the back of it, and then on the back side of the half wall, where the mold had spread back behind the kitchen sink, kitchen cabinet.
Wow.
And unfortunately,
now why did you not just kill it? Why did you remove? Was it soft and gushy?
Yeah, it was all soft and gushy.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, there was no indication prior, and then
right, I understand.
I just decided, let's get rid of all this crap because I don't know how bad that is for because my son's got his girlfriend's got a couple of kids. I didn't want to take it.
So anyway, what's going on?
So anyway, I cut all that out, and then of course the bottom of the sink cabinet is all rotten on the bottom.
Yeah, I get it. Ugh, that sucks.
This took a long time to happen.
Yeah, it took a while. So what's going on, Chuck? What happened?
The waistline, 2-inch waistline that comes out of the sink there, had a big crack in it that I guess has been there since the house was built in 2001. But somehow, I guess with the drywall pressing against it, it kind of kept from leaking enough so it wasn't visible. It just slowly dripped, and I never knew about it until now.
Insurance pays for casualty loss, which is sudden and unforeseen. It's not long and drawn out lack of maintenance or lack of whatever. Hold on, let's examine this, okay? Because maybe there's some coverage. I know that our public adjuster had to have come up against this time and time and time again. Is it sudden and accidental, or is it deterioration over time?
Time. Oh, yeah, here. Too small though, anyway. Yeah, well,
if the insurance company already agreed to pay for any part of it, he'd be salivating.
I don't think he's filed a claim yet.
No rehearsing.
Once they admit fault, you're out of.
So Matt, that one that we called like 2 weeks ago, what happened to that?
Elliot?
Yeah.
I'm seeing him today.
Oh, you are? Yeah.
No, he had to cancel on me.
Oh, really?
I'm just go see him today after the show.
Good.
I'm excited to see that one because I know
20 seconds. He's very hesitant.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a believer out of him.
Good.
Traffic and weather. I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30. K-How.
Hey, when I told him you should charge extra money, you said, "Who you for?"
Hey guys, Mike's going on, big mouth. Windows, siding, doors, everything exterior, that's K&H Home Solutions. KHWindows.com is the website. You can make your own appointment for, you know, a review, an estimate, whatever you want when it comes to what they do. And they have Everlast siding I love. They also have triple pane glass. And there's a free upgrade right now if you call and get it done or schedule this month. 303-421-7100, 303-421-7100.
About 40% of Americans carry a credit card balance, but excluding people with credit scores over 720, that number's more like 75%. Reports show that U.S. households pay an average of $1,200 a year in credit card debt. That is an astounding number. Thanks to
mostly
your
answer
untapped
questions,
home
but this one
equity
is,
is an easy
what are the
way
minimum
out
parts
of
required
interest
to,
debt,
for
and
one
loan
to
limits
sustain
are at an
life
all-time
on their
high,
own?
so you can
In
use
other
that
words,
equity
the
to pay
torso
off
and
debt,
head,
remodel your home, or
but
build
what
your
organs
savings
can you
account.
remove?
Just call
I
the
want to know the
salary-based
absolute
mortgage
minimum
consultant
stuff
at
needed to
American
sustain
Financing.
life.
They'll
I'm just
guide
wondering
you
what
through the
kind of,
mortgage
because they have all kinds of
process.
experts.
You don't need
Charge
limbs.
upfront fees,
Right.
unlike other
So you have a
lenders,
torso and a head. That's what I said.
You've actually seen people that's all they have.
Then you don't need one of the colons. You don't need one of the kidneys. You don't need one of the lungs.
You don't need a gallbladder. You don't need a spleen.
Apply online at American
Think
eyeballs.
Think about. Oh, that's true.
Tonsils, wisdom teeth.
Aurora Orthodontics and TM.
Imagine sitting in that fucking hellhole.
Smile. As an
I'd
adult,
roll myself off a cliff.
$60,000 on cosmetic dentistry. You wouldn't even know what somebody's
$200. I know.
desire
I just
was.
had something.
I know, it would be horrible. That would be literally trapped in your own fucking
There is an
world.
alternative to veneers and
No
conventional.
one can understand you, hear you, do anything for you.
It's like Helen Keller.
Well, Helen Keller in a promote way.
Yeah, but I mean,
no,
And she invented that way to communicate. I
Invented
every
what?
now and then. The closed hand sign. In other words, she can't hear and can't see. So what I want to know is, how did that woman, what was her name? Of course, she takes her palm of the hand and starts communicating with her. So this is how they communicate. You hold your hand up and you do this. So, so that's her communication. It's sign language.
If Helen Keller fell down in the woods, would you hear her?
She wouldn't.
Yeah, that's right. Do you guys see this R. Kelly, you know, that rapper?
Yeah, he
got
got
that
sent to
interview.
prison, didn't he?
Did you listen to it?
I heard part of it. Stephanie,
You know what
had on
he
this
said?
morning.
He says R. Kelly exploded rage as he vehemently denied sexually abusing underage girls in a new interview and blamed the parents to the alleged victims for selling their daughters to him.
He said that was consensual.
They're underage.
How old were they?
12, 13, right?
No.
Who,
Or
R. Kelly?
underage, yeah.
R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh my.
How did he skate last time? Didn't they have a video of him last time?
I don't know if he skated.
Yeah, there was a video years ago came out about him.
Yeah, they buried that somehow. He's a dirtbag.
I don't know anything about it.
He's long been accused of holding some of the women hostage in his home as part of his sex cult.
He's going to be locked up for a long time.
Jeez, I don't know, man. Some of these guys skate.
I think they already sentenced him.
OJ skated.
An
Explain that one.
80-minute interview. To CBS. He's yelling at everyone.
Make sure the sound on this is not on right now, because I'm looking at something.
He says, "Oh my God, all of them got little girls trapped in the basement."
Who?
That's what Kelly was
Yeah.
telling.
Who of us have not trapped a girl at least once or twice?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying?
Oh, when he says it like that.
The Michael Jackson thing.
I can't believe he really said that.
I didn't see that. Did you guys see the Michael Jackson thing? I didn't see it. I heard about it.
Do you know why Helen Keller can't
Same
drive?
thing. Had little kids. You know, obviously we all kind of knew that.
She's a woman.
Yeah. But what he was.
Oh, yeah. We did kind of know.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is important. Approval Reverse Mortgage. That's a mortgage company that does only reverse mortgages. And the reason I mention them is because they're the honest ones, the ones that will not slam you into one, that will tell you when it's not appropriate, because most of the time, It is not appropriate. Now, that's not to say it's not a great product. It is for some people, 62 or older, with a lot of equity. I'd actually say older, way older than 62, but that's the legal requirement. And then that equity can work for you, and you never have to pay it back, and you'll never owe more than the house, and you can sell it any time. See, Dano said, I think it was Dano yesterday, said, I didn't know you could sell your house anytime you want. Yeah, you can. You sell it, and then you just pay it off like any other loan. And if there's a deficiency, that you sell it and pay whatever you get. That's it. ApprovalReverse.com, 303-771-3528. Okay. Gosh, we got a lot of good stuff going on. What happens when you find, we've had this question over and over and over. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. You find damage. When does insurance cover it, or when does insurance say it's a lack of maintenance or it's not a casualty loss? Sudden and accidental. Compass Insurance Group, our experts, told us that the other day. Sudden and accidental. Now, that doesn't mean sudden and accidental. It could have been sudden and accidental when it happened. For example, that pipe could have been frozen and then thawed out. That was the sudden and accidental. And then over time, it did damage. That would still qualify if that's what happened. But there's also something called mitigating losses, meaning you have an obligation to notice and mitigate losses if within your power. This all gets very complicated. So, Chuck, go on with your story. You noticed the mold and the damage and the cabinet and all of that. Let's speed that up. What happened?
So insurance came out today and said that they don't cover this because, kind of like what you said, it wasn't sudden.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how am I supposed to be able to look inside of a wall?
Exactly.
There's a leak. It's impossible.
But even if you could, though, that's not what they're saying, I think. They're not saying that you didn't see it inside a wall. They're saying it wasn't sudden and accidental. They're saying it was a slow leak.
Well, it could very well be, but, you know, it could also be like you're saying. It froze. Maybe they filled, when they did the testing, they filled the water, you know, the waste lines with water, and a freeze came. It cracked, like you're saying. The damage didn't occur till years later from the continuous cycling.
Yeah, but what was the, tell me what, make your case. What was the sudden and accidental thing? What happened?
Well, it could have suddenly broke, like you said, your statement earlier.
You mean like frozen, but is it a frozen split?
How do you determine that?
Well, what does it look like? That's the first thing. Was it burst from the inside out?
Well, let me look.
Yeah, I mean, do you have a photograph of it?
I do, sir.
Is it an elongated slit, or is it It is.
The crack is 8 to 9 inches long, and then it has a crack going horizontal about in the middle of it.
Oh, and does it look like it's bowed outward or bulged outward?
It is bulged outward on one side of it.
Now, I have to explain to Mark what a bulge is. He doesn't understand it.
But
it's something that really protrudes. Okay.
Is the leak itself slow? Is he saying that it froze a year ago?
Hold on. Yeah, but it wouldn't. But Mark, it wouldn't have to be. It doesn't matter if it's slow. If it did happen with a frozen pipe, that wouldn't have mattered. Why do you ask that? Why are you asking that?
Because if the leak was still slow, let's say it froze a year ago.
Right.
I think where he's trying to make the leap is it froze, which was sudden, but it's been leaking for a long time.
No, but that would be covered. Matt will tell you that.
I don't think. Well,
Mark,
what I'm reading here is saying they will actually exclude and use language
subsequent,
gradually or slow or constant leaks.
Okay, yes, but
I
not.
This was
no.
a waistline, though.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you this. We get Compass back on, but Mark, they will cover slow leakage if what do I want to say? The reason or the cause was sudden and accidental. They won't if it's just a leak. It has to be caused by something. If it was caused by a plumber that didn't tighten it, that's not sudden and accidental. That's
I don't know. I'm just saying a lot of the policies exclude that.
Let's get Compass on once again. Now, Matt, you have experience. You tell us. What has your experience been?
I mean, I took care of a guy whose water supply line for his ice maker was just barely leaking over a period.
Oh, come on. And they covered it?
They paid the guy, like, I think, $500, and I took him up to $50,000.
Okay.
They covered it.
Hey, listen, man.
This is the guy that called in and told you guys about it, too.
Chuck, did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. So I think you ought to let our public adjuster take a crack at that. Of course, I can't make you do that, and I don't care if you do or not. But what the hell? They ain't covering it, right?
Exactly.
Kids, don't use the word ain't. Okay, so they're not covering it. But you think it should be covered. From what you're hearing, that, by the way, that slit sounds to me like sudden and accidental. Nothing like that. A 9-inch slit happens over time. I mean, what do you think, Mark Szymanski?
Well, I mean, because it's a waistline.
Wait. Is it a waistline?
Yes.
Damn it.
Yeah,
oh, damn it.
Yeah, you don't have a frozen pipe.
I'm usually very observant. Waistlines don't freeze.
House movement, shifting.
Wait. Is it you got to take some photos. Let's just stop right now. Take some photos. And then, of course, Paragon can take a look at it if they want. But you ruined my theory there. You ruined my theory.
If someone has hail damage or wind damage and they have a skylight.
Right.
And it happens 2 years ago.
Right.
That was the only storm ever there.
Right.
And 2 years later, you find out that water's been leaking into your attic forever.
Now, Mark,
slowly.
There will be a judgment call, and it most likely will be covered if it was where you could have mitigated it and you've seen it. Now, you know that. I mean, have you covered those?
Absolutely. And you know what? It also depends on the insurance company. If you had a Mika go out there, they'd look for a reason to pay for it. I'm not going to say other companies that I don't.
No, you can say anything you want. What are you kidding me? That's what the show.
He's got to work with them.
I don't want them to put a hit out on me either. But
professional hit.
There are good companies that actually will look for a way to cover it. And
I have never heard of such a thing. Blasphemy.
Yeah.
He is saying there are insurance companies that will look for a way to pay. Okay, if you were then going to pick one, who would it be? A Mika,
Chubb.
Oh, Chubb. Yes, I've heard. I've heard
USAA.
Travelers.
USAA can be, it's a coin flip. I've seen them be really, really
I've heard Travelers is good.
Travelers is good. Safeco's good. The bigger boys are the troublemakers.
Does Fred Loya cover homeowners insurance?
I doubt it.
If he did, don't get
Maybe
your house.
mobile homes.
Don't burn your house down. Okay, we got more coming right up.
Do you want to get Compass on? I still say it's slow. Get Compass on because
it depends on the policy. Excluding damage to your home that occurred gradually, slow, or constant.
But they don't talk about causation. They're absolutely correct. But if it was caused by a covered event, the slowness does not disqualify it. It doesn't. That's really the crux. Who am I doing here?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
All the way out to Penny Boulevard. If you got to catch a flight, Penny Boulevard, which is good in and outbound. Delays in town on the highway. Forecast.
I've seen pipes, drain lines bust from the garbage disposal.
But I've never seen them freeze, though.
No, they don't freeze, and it's not going to freeze if it's inside.
Where do you get a 9-inch slit? Where do you get that?
I've seen that happen.
Installation to me. Or it was packed that way.
I've seen that happen with the garbage disposal. Vibrated too much. It just shook off. Yeah, not that.
Where is this line he's talking about? Hold on, I want to know.
Join the stampede to your local Ford store today.
Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. Why do I say that? Because they have so many factors I love. Credit optimization. After being approved, they don't just send you through there. They will improve your credit legally, ethically, and quickly by telling you what balance to pay down and by how much. It can save you a lot of money. Custom term loan, you get the low rate without going back to 30 if you don't want to. Any term you want, and then the rate guaranteed. Yes, if you, listen to this, if you refinance or close and rates go down, they refinance you free of charge, and then the pre-approval is like a cash deal. Think about that. A cash deal because you're approved. Not pre-qualified, approved. So you find something you like. You put in an offer and say, I'm going to close in 3 weeks. You don't have to wait to be approved. IdealHomeLoans.com. Now you know why I say Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. 303-867-7000.
Friday is International Women's Day. International Women's Day. All day long, National Radio will celebrate the incredible achievements of women.
That's Wednesday today.
See, it just depends on which side of the fence.
Yesterday was Fat Tuesday.
I grew up Catholic. I've been from the beginning of my life.
Good and bad.
I'll give you some answers.
The AIDS. Are you going? Family all stay. Anybody that spends a lot of money in
So
advertising.
they turn in all the bishops for child molesting.
That's always been my rule of thumb. If you see an insurance company ad on TV, don't go with it.
Right.
State Farm, Nationwide, they're all going to screw you if they can.
Hormones naturally, whether it's
Oh, but look how much money we spent on scholarships for football.
Right.
American
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, of course.
It's like,
Yeah, but take care of my house when it burns down.
the really age fighters at Revitalize Health. 3 brothers started Revitalize
I
Health.
think Amika is my favorite
practitioner.
bar.
Is it because of the people you deal with there?
No, I've literally never seen them give anyone a problem. I show up with an estimate and they match it.
Great job. They also have Botox.
You know?
Is it because you've been working with them, or
No, that's across the board. I mean, I talk to other people in other states, same thing. They are big on customer retention. They understand if they take care of people, they're
Do
going to
they
stick
do
with
cars
them.
too?
Yes.
You will love these
It's funny, like, there's so many of them that they can't see it.
Yeah, they'll just drop you.
2 claims, oh, gone.
But you said Safeco's good too. I was just thinking, I don't think
They're okay.
Does Compass do Amica? Does Compass?
I don't think
That's
so.
That's one of the.
I don't, do they have captive agents? No, I don't know. All the good companies normally use brokers, not captive.
Yeah, brokers.
That's what I'm saying. That's one of the ones in Compass is they got like 15 different companies.
I bet Compass would strike a deal with them somehow. I mean, it also depends on the type of property. If you have farmland or agriculture.
I want Mark to hear this, so I want to take Brian, but I want Mark to hear it. So therapy, if you're thinking about avoiding surgery, because
Germania is another good one.
Wow, I've never heard of them.
Well, see, they're for farm properties.
Who are they?
Germania,
You've heard me talk
really
about
good company. Chubb is one of the best.
Yeah, I had Chubb.
Never. I've heard until the other day somebody mentioned Chubb.
Chubb's great. I had a guy drive by and take a photo and then said, hey, send me your estimate and I'll write a check. He didn't even get on the roof.
Yeah, but they only, I mean, not only, but they usually insure $2 million homes and not
Chubb.
Have you seen them for cheaper home? I shouldn't call it cheaper home under $2 million. But have you seen them?
I don't.
$200,000.
No, that's a good. I don't think so. I think you're right.
963-9201 before you have
Yeah,
surgery.
they got an edge, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Avoid surgery in some cases. 303-963-9201 or avoidsurgerytoday.com.
That's why I went to Denver Small Claims. Every small claims place is different. Oh, they didn't even bring up mediation. Mediation wasn't even, they said, hey, let's try to mediate.
Oh, it's only one person there.
Right to court.
Oh, you went right into court.
You mean right there that they don't say?
Right, Rappaport insists on mediation.
I'm Tom Martino here, 303-713-TOM,
8255. We have someone from Compass on to talk about casualty versus sudden, casualty, what sudden and accidental is. We're going to get to him in 1 minute, okay? I'm waiting for Mark to get back because he had a question too. 303-713-TALK. And Chuck, just hang on, all right? Let's talk to Robert. Robert, what's going on?
Yes.
What's happening, sir?
I have this machine called Flex Zone. It is a TENS unit and an 18 EM.
And what else? A Flex, a TENS unit plus what?
They call it's supposed to be a muscle stimulator, but they call them EMS now.
Okay, but how does it differ from a regular TENS unit?
A TENS unit to me feels more like acupuncture, where it feels like little needles sticking you. A TENS unit, a muscle stimulator grabs your muscle like you've been massaged. It grabs it, then lets it go.
Yeah, well, you can do that. You can do that with TENS too, but I don't want to get too far off the topic. What's going on with yours?
I want to send it back.
Okay, how long have you had it, Robert, and what are the conditions?
The conditions are that I tried it.
No, I'm asking you, what are the conditions from which you bought it? If it was on Amazon or somewhere, did you have a 30-day? Do you have a 10-day? Do you have a 1 year? What are the conditions when you bought it? I'm not asking if you agree with it. I'm asking, what are the conditions?
I'm really not sure of the conditions because
Okay.
I brought it from the gentleman himself before while he was trying to get all this in place.
Where'd you buy it? New? Did you buy it new?
I brought it brand new from the gentleman who sells them. I have his number. I talked to him personally. I told him what I was after.
Gotcha.
He told me to try it, and if it wouldn't work for me, to send it back. I had trouble figuring out how to charge it because when you charge it, the bars across the top only shows you one.
Okay, so when you do it, what is he saying? When you talk to him, what does he say? I'm not going to do it?
I haven't been able to catch up with him.
Okay, we got a hold of him. What did he say?
No, Tom, so I called that cell phone number. So a lady had no idea who I was or what I was talking about. And then I called the business line, and it just rings and rings and rings.
So we didn't get a hold of anybody?
Nobody.
Oh.
And then they have another area.
First of all, where did you run into this guy? Was it a show somewhere?
No, sir. My old muscle stimulator went out.
Uh-huh.
And I was trying to get another one.
Right. How?
So I saw this one by searching it through the internet.
Okay, and then how did you run across him? On the internet?
Yes.
Okay, and then you met him somewhere?
No, I talked to him physically over the phone twice because the first time.
But you never met the guy, right? You never met him? And where is he out of? Where is he located?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But if there's no contract or no warranty that's stated or no return policy, I mean, what are you going to do, man?
Well, does his ad...
They have a return policy, but this was before he went big.
How long have you had it?
I've had it now for 1, 2, 3, 4 months.
Okay. Well, listen. We're on the site where you bought it, the website, even though you were on the site where you found him. What site is it? I want to go look it up.
It is, you type in Flex Zone.
Okay, hold on. Suzanne, can you get a link? I just want to see what the web ad says that he saw. And then here's what we'll do, okay? We just have to mark it as a follow-up and try to get a hold of the guy. I mean, that's all we can do. But did you pay by credit card, Robert?
Yes, I did.
Okay, then contest it on the credit card.
Well, this is the problem. First, when I ordered it, I ordered 3. So I called the guy and I talked to him. I said, look, I ordered your machine, but somehow it got down to 3 instead of 1. So he said, okay, no problem. I'll take care of it. He fixed it. He reversed the charges. I went to my bank. They reversed the charges on 2 of them, but charged me for 1. At that time, I was talking to him.
Okay, Robert, all I care about now, this is all I care about. On your credit card is a charge for 1, or are you still being charged for 3?
No, he fixed that. He took care of it.
Okay, good. So why don't you contest this one and say it turned out to be a fraud, it doesn't work. Just anything. Just contest it, and they'll take it off your credit card. And unless the guy fights it, it'll stay off. And a lot of these guys, I'm not saying he's a ripoff, I'm saying that a lot of these guys don't take the time to fight back. Like Apple's one of them. If you contest Apple's charge, they are so busy. You know how that you can never get anyone on the phone? That's to your benefit. eBay doesn't either. Those people don't contest contesting. So contest it on your charge card. That'll make the guy at least address it or ignore it. And if he ignores it, you still have the credit. Now, Suzanne, did you remind me about Compass? Because now I want to go to that. Is that what you were whispering in my ear?
Oh, well, that, and I sent you the link to that website as well.
First, I want to go to Compass. Brian Burns. We ask him this at least 3 or 4 times a year or more. Brian Burns, Compass Insurance Group. All right. There is a discussion as to sudden and accidental and slow deterioration and aging and lack of maintenance. And I do know, I just want to state right off the bat, because we just talked to Jeremy yesterday or the day before, that if you had a slow leak over a year or a slow condition, it's not going to be covered because it's a slow leak. But here's what Jeremy said. Causation is really important. For example, if you had a burst pipe because of freezing, but it didn't burst wide open, it was just a small slit, and it leaked over a year, but it was caused by freezing, and now you suddenly notice it because it's a mess, but it was doing it it's a very slow leak for a long time. Do they deny that?
Well, and it's a great point, and I know you probably hate this answer, but it depends. I would say in general, a lot of companies would try to deny that claim,
right.
But that's where you would have your agent get involved in
with the causation, though. If the causation is a covered peril, even if the damage occurs over a long, slow period, is it generally covered?
Not here's what I would hesitate to answer. The reason I say it depends, it's because should a reasonable person have noticed that the damage was occurring?
Okay.
And
I understand that.
That's where you get into something that's not
objective. Because you're talking about mitigation, right? Yep. But the peril, the pipe will always be covered. Is that right?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
The pipe will always be covered.
Well, the pipe itself isn't covered. The damage caused by
That's
the pipe.
what I mean.
They're not going to pay for the pipe. They
so
never
what would? Okay. So when? Because Jeremy just told me yesterday that there was a chimney leaking, and it happened because of hail on the flashing, and it was covered. And it happened in the attic over a very long period of time. So apparently, you do get them covered.
Well, again, would a reasonable person know that there was water leaking in the attic? Maybe not, and that's why the argument would be, hey, this should be covered, and that's where you have to do a little battle.
But under no circumstances, if it's caused by something that is not sudden and accidental, it wouldn't be covered. For example, if that flashing was installed wrong, that's different than the flashing being damaged by hail.
Right, or exactly right. That's right. And really, the problem is sometimes insurance policies can kind of get lumped together with a warranty, and that they're really not there to cover wear and tear. If your roof is
many people try to get things covered, but they're not sudden and accidental. Right. But here's what I'm trying to get across. The word sudden and accidental doesn't mean that you must discover it suddenly. It means that was the cause of it.
Right. And in your case, the cause was let's say it was a burst pipe, that even though it didn't burst all the way, it was sudden and accidental. It just took time for it to do the damage.
Yeah.
And so if you had no way of knowing that, or a reasonable person couldn't do that, then I would argue to try to get that covered.
But if you're going to not mitigate damages, we've had people do that on purpose. They thought, oh yeah, I'll get more out of this, man. I'll just let it go, and bingo, you're stuck with it. Now, in Chuck's case, this is confusing because, first of all, I don't think it was a frozen pipe because drain lines don't freeze.
Look at the picture.
Okay. Oh, we got a photograph. Okay, because this is interesting because he said that the dishwasher drain line is dishwasher drain line is slit 9 inches. And he said that they won't cover it, the damage. Now, this is a black pipe. This is not even a metal pipe. And I see the slit. Look, that slit there and that slit there. It looks like a T, like 9 inches, the top thing, and then a little one perpendicular, almost like it. I mean, it looks so perfectly cut. It doesn't look like freezing to me. Does it to you? Matt, he's a public adjuster. He said that does not look like freezing. What does it look like to you, Matt? If you came
just some kind of weird fracture. I mean,
to me it looks like
that could have been caused by a garbage disposal rattling, and I mean,
because
what
of
kind of material? It's not PVC. It's some kind of
black plastic. Is it? Wait. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Let's bring them up. Chuck, is this iron, or excuse me, metal, or is it plastic?
It's a standard ABS pipe used in all construction today. That pipe is actually inside the half wall, away from the disposal.
Okay.
That's where your sink
now,
drains
Chuck,
and your dishwasher and everything drains in.
Listen. Don't get hung up on where it was because you didn't notice it. That's not what we're concerned about. The not noticing it goes to your favor because a reasonable person would not have opened a wall to look at it. That's in your favor. What we want to know is the causation. That's what counts. I don't think first of all, it's not going to freeze there, and there's no water being held in it to freeze. That is not a freeze. That looks to me like deterioration. It doesn't look like sudden and accidental to me, but I don't know. I mean, you need to get someone like Matt involved.
I think it's mostly, during the construction process, something made that pipe break. I don't think it's deteriorating.
Okay, good.
Those pipes don't deteriorate.
Good. He's an expert. He's saying it doesn't look it doesn't look like deterioration. Okay, I got to take. Listen, no matter what, I got to take a break. We're going to come back, and then I'm going to see what Matt will do if he was taking on this claim.
I wonder who his insurance company is. I wonder who his insurance company is.
I can have that. You want me to have that?
That's going to make a big difference.
24/7 in 1 minute, 30-second spot.
We're going to be all over. Exactly.
He's on top one.
Here's the other thing. I mean, if an adjuster comes out there and I meet him there, I want to say, look, can you take care of this, or my legal team's going to be calling. You want to settle this now?
I wonder how much. Okay, he's got nice granite countertops. So I'll say, well, gee.
Probably a nice home.
Right. Yeah.
Probably decent coverage.
And so all of a sudden, I got to remove that countertop. Got a new cabinet in there. What's happened underneath?
Plus the mold mitigation.
But let's
get out of it.
How often is mold excluded from your policy?
Normally, there's like a $5,000 cap on it.
Big time comfort, and more important, it doesn't leave me smelling bad.
But that's just for the mold.
Right.
Fix It 24/7, the $39 people. Now, this one is really good. $39 to find any problem. Any problem with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drains, no matter how long it takes. If you decide to have the work done after they find it, they credit the $39. But if you don't want the work done, the most you'll ever pay is $39. Predict your cost, because all prices up front when repairs are needed. 720-526-3939.
I actually like putting them to lawyers because they could get bad faith. It's double damage.
Is it bad faith, though, if they just lose in court?
Bad faith is so gray. Yeah. I mean, I've had cases won on bad faith because they didn't communicate back with the customer for a week. That's an unreasonable amount of time to go by.
Ron,
Safeco.
Safeco.
You know what mud is? When you're
talking about mud jacking, it's concrete and sand, and they pump it under concrete to repair it. Crackerjack Mud Jacking has been repairing slabs and everything to do with concrete, and they've been doing it in basements, in garages, walkways, aprons. CrackerjackMudjacking.com. They are the concrete experts. Repair, don't replace. 303-410-7787. 410-7787.
Home ownership has gotten a lot more affordable in recent months, more than ever, really, if you consider that loan limits have increased to an all-time high.
With Safeco, I'm probably going to know the adjuster.
Where's he at?
Safeco always pays 10% O&H.
Where's Chuck at? Is he in Springs or?
They have access to every kind of loan in the industry, so it
Nothing on the notes, I don't know.
program that fits your needs, including options that require.
He's a construction guy. He says.
No money.
Chuck is? Yeah, that's what he said.
How would you ever prove that was from freezing?
That's the thing. If
So
you
he
can't
says-
prove it, you err on the side.
They fill it full of water and stuff, and that's when it could have froze.
They do.
But it would drain. It would drain right away.
What's that?
Well, plus it shouldn't have that temperature.
That's impossible to be frozen.
And they don't cause water.
The water flows.
Well, unless you had really shitty insulation that was right up against the side.
But you're not getting what I'm saying. It doesn't hold water.
Because it goes right through.
It's this big, and
Well,
it's a drain.
it's got a air vent. There'd be no pressure.
There's not, yeah. If it was held in that pipe, it could freeze, especially up against an exterior wall. But we're talking about a pipe this big that water goes through it. I mean, it wouldn't.
He's saying during the construction process to test it, they fill it with water, and that's when it froze.
But even then, it has room to expand. There's no pressure. Yeah. So what are we going to go back to the
Hold
builder?
on. Wait. Was that before he owned it? Then it wasn't insured.
How would you prove you owned it and covered it?
No, it wasn't insured at that time. 65, and you can't do that.
That's
Look,
funny.
he should go. And
Yeah.
what would you argue?
I'd come out and say, look, prove to me that this wasn't sudden an accident.
Now,
Also,
really?
well, and also, this guy just discovered it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he was, oh, there's a leak and ignored it. He went in there and tried to mitigate the best he could.
Is there a lot more damage? Is that why he's doing it? Can
Yeah.
they take out the cabinets and
A whole
everything?
bunch of damage.
He really never said how much damage though.
What's that?
Yeah, those things add up real quick. Those
Water?
Yeah.
Water, big time.
I can't believe the hose on the ice cube maker And you got that covered.
That guy called in, and I forget his name.
That is,
I took him from 500 to 50K.
Was it a plastic hose or?
It was just a plastic.
Who installed it?
That's our business.
You didn't know?
No. It's just an ice maker line leaking. It ruined
That happens all the time.
Ruined his wood floor
Yeah.
and part of the cabinets, and I had his whole kitchen gutted.
The bottom line.
Because those cabinets had to go. They're older. They don't match the other. You know, I mean,
I urge you to call.
It snowballed.
Insurance price.
It was great.
Treatment.
That was State Farm. I had to fight them for. It took a couple months. That's the other thing.
What do you do when an attorney really needs to get involved?
I hand them my entire file. They file a lawsuit, and 6 months later, I get a check in the mailbox. They pay my 10%. It's a good deal, actually.
How do they get paid?
That's contingency.
Well, yeah, they take my estimate and add 40% legal fees on top.
So they're allowed to do that.
40%?
Yeah, and if it's
I
bad
thought
faith,
there was just arbitration.
or appraisal. If it's bad faith, it's double damage.
Right.
Take my estimate. and double.
Appraisal, you're not, you have to do appraisal before a lawsuit, but he's technically doing the appraisal.
Right. And
That's
the
the appraisal
appraisal's a coin flip too. If you lose, you lose your rights. That's it.
Oh, really? You get one
Well,
chance?
no, that doesn't preclude you from going to court, the appraisal process.
Yeah, it's two different things.
No, the appraisal process is not binding on the homeowner. It's not binding on the
Well, it's about the umpire. What's up?
Hi, Tom Martino.
Your troubleshooter, 303-713-8255. Okay, so we haven't forgotten about you, Robert, and the Flexstone. I'm just telling you, you got to contest it on your credit card. Okay, that's all we're going to tell you. That's what you have to do first before you do anything. We can't get this guy to give your money back. Now, we have, of course, a lot to talk about. And the sudden and accidental thing, Chuck, here's the deal. I would get Matt involved in it because he's a professional. But listen to this, okay? It never froze. It's impossible for that to freeze. It's a drain line, totally vertical, and it's vented. There's nothing to hold water to freeze it. Chuck.
Well, that's not totally correct, Tom. When a plumber tests that line, they fill it with water usually. And if they do that and forget to drain it.
Okay, so when did that happen?
I have no idea.
Chuck, how long have you lived in the home?
2001.
Okay, so hold on. 19 years ago, okay? So you're telling me that before you moved in, when they did the construction test for the county where they pressurized the drains and the water lines, is that what you're telling me?
That's the only thing I could come up with.
Okay, well, then it still wouldn't be covered because it wasn't insured by you at that time.
I see.
See, it wouldn't have been covered anyway. Chuck, you need to call Paragon Services. Matthew Stanford, Paragon Services. 719, don't let that scare you. He works all over. 719-726-0020.
Matt, what happens if he had a plumber out there 10 years ago, but he had a different insurance company at the time? Who the hell would
It's not
pay
covered
that?
then. It's only covered by...
What, he couldn't go back after the old insurance company?
No. Not after 10 years, no way. You got about a year.
No, there's no way.
To file a claim.
Even the absolute statutes of limitation.
But he didn't know for that period of time.
Mark, okay, do you know...
They're going to ask you for a date of loss.
First of all, we're not practicing law, but here's the deal. Bottom line. There's something called an absolute statute of limitations. Now, why do we have one? Because if we didn't, the world would go crazy. Because it's the date of discovery for certain things if it's within a statutory period. But I don't know of anything ever that goes beyond 12 years.
Even 2 years ago, then, in my example. He has a plumber there 2 years ago. Plumber screwed it up. Whatever happens. It's a coverable event for argument's sake.
Okay.
But he had a different homeowner's policy at the time.
Good question.
Because they didn't know. Or are you saying that company would still be liable?
That company could be liable, but he did not file the claim. And in most policies, they won't take anything filed beyond 1 year, whether you knew it or not.
Okay.
Now, in most, I know. Why am I saying most? I don't know if it's most. I just know in the policies that I'm familiar with, isn't that usually a year?
That is, and it's policy specific. Most of them, 90% of them, are you have 1 year to file.
Look, so
now he can say that he's a professional.
A slow leak that's been going on for a year and a half, even if you had the same insurance company, you're saying, even if they didn't know about it, you're probably not going to be able to get covered.
No, not that case. In that case, you didn't discover it. And it's and then it goes back to what Brian said. What is reasonable to file? Now, once you discover it, then you have the year. But if it was reasonable, you should have discovered sooner, then the year would have ticked sooner.
That was my whole point in saying a different insurance company, though.
Right.
You can 2 years ago.
You can go back, well, not 2 years. But
That's my whole point. Listen, if you have a leak going on for 10 fucking years, I don't think you're going to get it covered.
Of course.
Whether you knew about it or not.
Who said you would?
Okay, 5 years. 5 years. If that really froze, it really did freeze, and he had a different company.
If it was a covered peril.
Yes.
That resulted in slow damage.
Over a 5-year period. And he switched insurance companies 4 years ago. I'm saying I don't think he'd have a chance in hell of getting anything out of that insurance company.
Of the previous insurance company.
Who would have been covering it at the time.
I don't even know that. I never had that question asked.
Well, when I went to law school,
Mark, I've never had the question asked. But we have had situations where somebody was in a car accident and they had damages that went back to the car accident. And they had a statutory. So there might be a statute of limitations on filing. There might be, by law. I don't know.
Well, I think most of those kind of claims is just like what Ben Dinelli said yesterday. You basically sign off and take a little extra money saying you'll never come back. I mean, I think a good attorney would do that for medical bills.
But I'm talking about, like, there must be some kind of statute of limitations on the discovery thing. Well, there is on.
But wouldn't it all be contractual? I mean, really, isn't it all contractual in the policy? Why do we always say 1 year? Are you saying I can't sell a fucking policy to someone that's 6 months or fuck you?
You can.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So where does this 1 year come from?
That's here's the industry standard. That's just the
from all of my research that I've been doing.
1 year?
Actually, on all the research I've seen, even when you have a contract for 1 year, there have been cases where consumers have filed after that because they didn't notice it. And that is a big deal, the discovery. And it all comes down to this. Did you not discover it because you're a dumbass?
Yeah.
Or did you not discover it? If you're not a competent, Mark, if you're not a competent, sane, logical homeowner, then they consider you negligent. So if you didn't discover something that should have been discovered, you're negligent, so they're not going to cover you. But let's take something where you could not have discovered it. All of a sudden, you're putting up a ceiling fan, and all hell breaks loose. And it came from a covered event, and it's beyond a year, they will cover it. And I've seen time.
No, but why not put in the contract? Why can't the insurance company put in their agreement, their policy?
Whether discovered
we won't cover it. Yeah, exactly.
I guess you could.
There's all kinds of exclusions.
I guess you could. I guess you could. I mean, I don't know, because then you're not really insuring. You're just.
There could be law in that.
Well, maybe. Well, I don't know. That's my whole point.
It could
Can
be
I
considered
sell any policy I want?
It could be considered unconscionable, even if it's allowed to be written. By the time it gets to a judge,
or they'll never sell the policies because the banks would never fucking go for it.
They're not going to go for that.
I mean, this thing about insurance, the discovery thing, is really weird because it has happened so many times where people say, "Well, I didn't know," you know.
It all comes
when you run into trouble with the ice maker, I find that shocking.
I do too.
The ice maker, but what was the event?
Good question. Again, that's the gray area here. This guy,
a plumber,
came out, I got along with
a plumber not tightening something up is not an event.
Yeah, why did that get covered?
I don't know.
Because I threatened to sue him.
Did you say the vibration?
1 minute, Fuller Law 30 spots.
But even the vibration
is not an event.
Well, that's when you have these actuaries.
Well, that'd be a hell of a long-term event.
You're right.
They are actuaries. You know, you get actuaries involved.
I don't know.
And they're like, hey, what's our
Okay, guys.
75 to fight it, or 50 to
No prescription, no side effects.
Maybe that's
Just
it.
imagine Viagra, steroids. So call Noxitril now and take advantage of that incredible free bottle offer shipped discreetly to your door.
Find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril. Call 800.
Give me 10 seconds, bro. Tell me when.
0840. Free bottles for limited time. Call now. 800-993-0840. 800.
Soon?
0840.
Or another 30. Oh, I deleted it. I'm shutting these guys up. I got 20 seconds.
No, you get actuaries. I mean, we went through one. You know, they paid $100,000 on a $20,000 job I did because they didn't want to fight a little old lady that refused to pay me.
Okay, guys, we're going on.
I know it.
John Fuller, Fuller Law, is a personal injury attorney that you should call whenever you're injured for any reason, especially traffic accidents. Why should you call? Because no insurance company will ever treat you properly, not yours, not the other guys. That's a fact of life. You will almost always do better with an attorney. If you can't do better, he'll tell you. John Fuller, free legal advice, initial consultations free, 303-597-4500. 597-4500. By the way, if he does win, he takes a small percentage of what he collects. Fuller Law.
I had a guy in a wheelchair, Vietnam vet, full-blown wheelchair, man, no legs. Hit the side of my car, okay? Hit my car.
With his wheelchair?
With his wheelchair, electric wheelchair. Flew up on the hood, ended up in front of my car. I get out, of course, I'm picking, I didn't pick the guy up, but I'm looking at him, you okay? Ambulance comes, everything. My insurance company settled for $500,000 with him.
Wow.
He hit me.
Right.
Were you stopped at like a red light or something?
I was in a red light making a right. The light went, I turned, and he started going across the crosswalk. The crosswalk was not on, but they had no way to go either way. But it didn't matter. It's exactly what Mark just said. My insurance company, I said, this is the most ridiculous thing. They said, first of all, what do you care? And second of all, we're not going to go to court with a guy in a wheelchair, a Vietnam vet. And
jury's going to side with him every day.
You're going to fucking lose. We're going to lose, and we're going to lose more than what we can settle it for.
That's what it amounts to.
Right. Yep, that happened, and it just...
That never went on any of my clue reports either, because it was a company policy of a company I owned. It never till this day tracks back to me. Tracks back to Colorado Car Care.
Oh, okay, never went. Never.
It never affected my insurance for me and my family. A $500,000 payout. Because my own personal insurance, it wasn't me. My company had the policy, and the company's gone.
But that stuff is so irritating.
I know. I was like you. I was like, I wanted them to fight it more than anything in the world. And basically, they told me, not going to happen.
Did they have the strong arm? Was that the story?
They had him right there at the table.
He's not at the table. He's always drunk.
That guy, I'd like to see his advertising dollars. That guy's on everything.
Strong arms?
Yeah.
I'd say, okay, let me guess.
I wonder
$4 million a year.
I wonder if you could sue him.
No, more than that.
Because he doesn't, it's misrepresentation because it's not really a strong arm.
I'm not sure it's more than that.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't
Man,
know.
He's on the Broncos. He sponsors the Broncos.
You can't not hear him.
He's on the comedy
He's
channel.
on every station.
Yeah.
He's over the air.
I'm not sure about that. I'm wondering.
And you know, some of them, I think, are just actors, right? They're not real people. There's some of it will say actual client.
He's in a lot of
places. Oh, I didn't see that. But,
he is in a lot of places.
Is he in San Diego too, I heard?
I know he had to fight a guy from like Florida because they also had the strong arm.
For a while, he wasn't the strong arm, literally.
Oh.
Wednesday, everything. He was no longer.
What's his? Is it Azar?
Yeah, Frank Azar. So apparently he got by. They had a arm
He's
wrestling
been
competition.
title
So then he was strong arm.
Yes, on their site it is.
You'd be good. Man, you'll find it sinker.
The one that's way better than him for real, as far as these kind of mills go, is the Bulldog. The Bulldog's one of the best.
And he's got the only Bulldog.
He's a handsome guy.
Good hair.
Good hair.
Good breath.
Reasonable.
Good breath. Smells very well.
I love the bulldog. I might try to get him endorsed.
The truth about John
Jesus.
Democrats going to eat this legislature. They want to free killers.
And then, what was it, like 2 weeks later? Tom literally says on air, after calling this guy every name you could ever imagine, a flap of skin, all kinds of shit.
Waste of skin.
Then he turns around and literally had the audacity, not thinking about what he did a couple weeks ago, to say, well, I never personally attack anyone.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live at referralist.com, live on our iHeartRadio app, and downloadable for podcast almost anywhere. Just look. Hey, let's give you an update and recap. Our guest, Mark Szymanski, Genesis Total Exteriors.com, and Mark can do all of your insurance stuff because he does roofing and siding and windows and doors and decking and fence, and he does indoor side and out too for home improvements. And then we have Matthew Stanford. Speaking of insurance claims, he does public adjusting. Paragon Services, ParagonServices.com, 719-726-0020. We've been talking about insurance. We've been talking about sudden and accidental, what it means, or what's slow deterioration, what insurance covers, what it doesn't cover. We're also talking about any problems, questions, complaints you have. Okay, so let's get right to the phones and do it. 303-713-TALK. John has some experience with ABS pipe. I'm not sure where. Oh, that's that black pipe that was completely vertical under that sink that the guy claimed froze. I mean, he's just reaching at straws. The only way he'll get this covered is if he gets a public adjuster to try to fight something, but I don't see of any covered peril that would have accounted for that slit or for that. I don't know. So anyway.
How about a rodent?
But Mark Szymanski, Genesis, says, no, that wasn't true. You saw it. It's like somebody, he said it doesn't look like deterioration, right, Mark?
No, I don't think it's deterioration.
Now think of this. What if plastic is fatigued and it vibrated? It wouldn't crack like that?
I agree with Matt. I mean, you've had one of those situations where you've gotten a claim caught
disposal.
But then that could crack that.
That's what I meant.
It is brittle.
So that's what I meant by deterioration.
It's not real brittle, but it can crack, yes.
Anyway, John, what did you want to comment on?
Hey, Tom, real quick. So I had it happen 2 different instances at 2 different houses, and it was in the wall behind the sink, and it was a vertical split. And when I replaced the pipe, it actually looked like it split on a seam. So the pipe is not.
I understand that. Yeah.
It's actually got a seam on there.
But then it had a perpendicular. We had another perpendicular crack, perfect right angle coming off of it.
Yeah, that one I'm unsure about. But the only thing I could figure out on the 2 of mine on 2 separate, completely different houses is that it was right after the dishwasher discharge, which is actually, pumped into there. So there's some pressure behind it.
Well,
the only time it would leak is when the
the
dishwasher would discharge. If the sink was just draining, it wouldn't leak. So I think it might be something with vibration or something from the pumping action from the dishwasher.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be covered, would it?
No, it would be covered. But the angle the water coming goes.
Vibration's not covered. I don't think. I don't think that's sudden and accidental.
Yeah. But
I don't know. But thank you for the. For that, talking about that. It's just not going to get covered, in my opinion. We'll see. Christy's got a question. Go ahead, Christy. What's going on?
Hi, Tom. I was given that estimate for my or whatever it is for my insurance. I had to turn in a claim. And my
what kind of claim is it? We have it in front of us, and Matt is looking at it. But what kind of damage? Just tell us because we haven't heard about it.
My basement was purposely flooded. My home was vandalized.
Oh, so your home was vandalized and then it flooded, or did the vandalism cause the flooding?
It was the vandal vandalized it by flooding my basement.
Like with a hose, or how did they do it?
No, with the hot water heater.
Really? Did they crack it open?
No, they released the pressure valve, and it just kept filling up and running out and filling for like a day and a half.
Now, where were you at this time?
In Estes Park.
Oh, and was this guy caught?
I'm sorry?
Was the vandal caught?
They're investigating it now. They did fingerprint and.
Wow. Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea at all?
Yeah, I do.
What was it like? Somebody who had it out for you?
My ex-husband.
Are you kidding me? Why would he do that? I mean, how long have you been divorced?
Since '07.
Wait a minute. Are you still being haunted by this guy?
Yes, I am.
Like, that's serious, Christy. I mean, do you think he broke in and did that?
Absolutely.
Do you have any? You don't have any cameras or anything, huh?
Neighbors do. Yeah. No, there's plenty of evidence.
Oh, Christy, this is sad. I mean, but are you ever worried for your safety?
Well, yeah, but I've taken precautions for that as well. So.
Wow. Now, I mean, I'm concerned. I mean, really, a guy that'll do that, I mean, has he ever harassed you when you're home?
Yes.
Huh?
This is ongoing. Yes, he has.
Do you have a restraining order?
Yes, there is.
You know, Christy, wow. After 7 years, did you say no, since '07, didn't you?
'07, yes, since '07.
Well, why do you think? I mean, why do you think this guy is still after you?
Not right in the head.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you have any children with him?
Yes, we do.
And do you share custody?
No. My oldest, I have one over 18, and then I have the other one, my other son.
Okay. So what can we do to help you?
So where do I go from there? I see the 2 or 3 different values, I guess.
Tom, she doesn't understand her paperwork and why the amount that it's going to cost her to make the repairs is not the amount she's going to get. So I shared the paperwork with Matthew.
Now, what do you mean that's not the amount?
I think it's actual cash value, but Matthew had some...
Okay, first of all, a lot depends on your coverage. Do you have full replacement coverage?
I'm not sure. There is.
You do. I'm looking at it right now.
Value.
You do have full replacement value. So let him digest. Have you digested it yet?
Yeah, no, it's real simple. If you have it in front of you, page 4 explains. Basically, you were approved for $4,649.
Okay, and so
they depreciated it, meaning your house is how old?
It was 99.
They depreciate it only for the first check, though.
Right. So she has replacement cost coverage. So they depreciated it at $2,300 roughly. You're going to get that back when they start the work or when they complete.
Yeah, when they complete the work, that depreciation comes back to you. Okay.
So the total you're going to get in your pocket on this is $2,695, because your deductible is almost $2,000. You have a high deductible.
Cool. Yeah.
Do you understand that now?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much for clarifying that.
My pleasure. Yeah, look at page 4.
Hold on. I would still let him come look at. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I could come look at it. Maybe they.
I'm saying maybe, just maybe, there's some stuff you didn't get paid for.
I don't see overhead and profit on here.
That's where I'm not feeling very comfortable. So yeah, I welcome that.
Well, hold on. When you say you don't see overhead and profit, why wouldn't they just put the parts?
They conveniently ignore that a lot of the time.
Okay.
Because they know people don't know about it.
This is not going to cost you unless you want to hire him.
Okay.
I think you ought to have the guy look for you.
I do.
You don't have to, but if you want, Suzanne can make that connection.
Was this a finished basement?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to belabor this. I mean, I guess it does matter. Do you know if it's finished or not, Matt, by looking at that?
For that amount of money,
I'm seeing a dining room, living room.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see afterwards. Daniel is a plumber, and he says he knows why these ABS pipes crack. Why would they crack, Daniel?
We learned over years of how it has to do with and I bet when you're looking at the cracks all these guys have been talking about, they're all within 2 feet of fitting. And so
2 feet of a fitting?
I'll bet you every one of these people that have been talking to you, those cracks they're talking about are within 2 feet of any kind of fitting, whether it's an elbow.
Okay, and why does that make a difference?
Because it has to do with the plumbers and the way we used to do the cutting of the pipes. And you know how a tubing cutter looks.
Yes.
They have large ones for ABS, they have larger ones and all that. Well, after about 3 cuts, and I did this for 20 years in construction too, and we're seeing the repercussions now big time. The cutter starts to get a little bit dull.
And
when you cut around that pipe, you make a 99.9% cut, and the pipe's still kind of together. You get a good smack with your cutter, and it makes a micro fissure or a pre-stressed crack that
wait a minute. So you put that pipe cutter on, and you're going in a circle. How does that translate to a vertical slit?
Because when you're done, the pipe doesn't actually just cut through, except for the first day or so when you put a new cutting wheel on.
I understand, and I still don't know how that translates to a crack.
When he smacks it at the end.
What do you mean smacks it? To get it, to cut it?
To break it.
Okay.
To break, all right?
Okay, but that wouldn't be covered anyway, so that's good to know, though. Thank you, and Daniel, I hope you and your boys are doing fine. Do I have the right Daniel?
Yes, you do. Thanks,
all right, sir. I never forget a voice or a problem. Okay, we got more coming up.
This report is sponsored by American Finance.
His wife was a high-priced Russian hooker.
Oh, wow.
That Dan kept frequenting?
That's been like 2 years, hasn't it? That was a long time ago.
I remember that.
I want to do Frank coming back out.
Islands Ranch, I believe.
So we can talk like part
You
of the
can't
show.
forget. I didn't recognize his voice when he said you and your kids.
He was on, what do you call it, government, they were hiding him, what do you call that?
Oh, government protection.
Yeah,
Government assistance, government cheese.
Still is, I think.
Medicaid.
Cheese.
Obamacare.
He's still getting cheese.
Man, that lady's husband, that's
Wow, that's scary.
I'm bringing my gun to that one, man.
Well, you know,
So what is my price this hour, this time? What am I doing?
4,300 for a finished basement?
That's
Okay,
crazy.
Dave,
Yeah, that's, I'm
I'll
gonna
bet you get 50 grand.
blow that up. Well, and yeah, I mean,
That I'm
makes no
doing.
sense,
I mean,
man.
right now, okay.
I'm sure.
Joseph A. Lazara, attorney at law, is someone you need if you're an idiot. Now, he's not going to call you an idiot, but really, if you drink and drive, you don't have to. You can get a designated driver, you can get Uber, you can get Lyft, you can even get a taxi. Here's the deal, seriously now. Don't try to calculate. It's too complicated. And now with supermarkets selling alcohol and all of that, it's very difficult. Joe Lazara will help you in either case, whether you're an idiot and you did it, or whether you didn't do it intentionally. Or if you're just plain guilty, then there's the other part, of course, innocent. There are all of those. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. He has flat rate pricing. So if you're accused of any crime, he can give you a flat rate on representing you so you're not nickeled and dimed. And also, he gives $500 discounts for big cases to Martino listeners. 303-429-6200.
but to go into somebody's house and blow the T&P valve on a
Well,
water.
well, I say he must have almost clamped it down.
No,
it pops up.
You just clip it up, and it'll blow.
You've seen them, right?
Oh, yeah, but usually you just press to test it. Press the.
No, I always pull it.
No,
Yeah,
you can hit it too. It'll just go.
Well,
They
yeah,
usually have
but it's
drains
hard.
around it
That's
now.
why they have that metal tab. That metal tab is really
down,
pushing it in.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Do you ever see
I
that?
just did mine last night.
That's all the metal tab is a cam to push that thing in. I can't push that in without that metal. It's too hard. Have you pushed it
Well,
in?
no, it's got like a little thing here, and you can just push it in, or you can lift it up.
Yeah, but I'm saying pushing it in.
It builds up, it won't explode.
I find it too hard to push in.
Oh, okay.
That's why I use the cam.
You're not supposed to mess with them.
Oh, yes, you are. You're supposed to test them, because if you don't test them,
You have to
don't know
make
if it's
sure that
leak.
debris, he's right. You do this, and you let it go and make sure it doesn't leak.
And if you don't test them, they start filling up with.
That's exactly right. Sediment.
Yeah.
Corrosion.
Yeah.
Well, you want to flush the sediment past it.
Yeah.
You do this every
Once a year, you're supposed to flush your.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought if you mess with it, it could.
I don't need to. I've done mine once, and mine's 6, 7 years old.
Technically, you're supposed to replace the sacrificial anode. No one.
I'm replacing. I'll tell
If you do,
I'm doing my.
If you do, you'll never replace a water heater, ever. The only thing that deteriorates that metal is not having the anode. If you have the anode, it'll always be sacrificed.
So, but you can get anode, and it's not getting sacrificed, but it's getting covered with like.
That's true.
The
And it won't.
calcium or
And
whatever.
then you're right. And then it won't give itself up.
Exactly.
You need an anode that'll give itself up like a cheap French hooker.
Or a Russian one.
We'll see.
No, but now, okay, the whole idea about anodes, one of the main reasons they're not replaced, because people put water heaters in, and they're this tall, you can't get them out.
Right.
But they got their.
That's right. The flexible one.
You talked to somebody who invented that, right?
Yep. I talked to the guy that invented it. And where do you
They're
buy them?
everywhere.
I know.
On Amazon.
But no one knows about it.
Oh no! So here's another thing. There's two different kinds. There's aluminum and there's magnesium.
Why would you? What's the difference if they're
Well, yeah, apparently I looked on.
One lasts longer, right?
No, aluminum actually, when they start sacrificing, it gets a bunch of gunk in the thing, and they say don't use it. I don't know why they say
No, man, aluminum's bad for your system. That's one metal we don't want.
Yeah, it causes
Also, that's what they
say.
think. But it does skunk up your brain.
And aluminum
Iron's
deodorant.
Iron, magnesium, all of those. But if you have aluminum in your system, it is not good.
Yeah, no, but they sell them. I mean, it's like right there, aluminum, magnesium. You know, they're about the same price. But they got some. They got a 4. You know what I mean by this? And they got like 4 things. You just put it in.
Yeah, because most water heaters you wouldn't be able to get above.
Oh, Tom, the guy who invented it. I mean, Tom.
I bet he's sitting ready.
I talked to him the very first time. I had him on TV. I think he's from Denver.
Hi, Tom Martino here, talking to the one and only Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You know, one thing I said, I have a problem delegating, and he'll tell you, he'll attest to this, that I don't do anything at all when it comes to this real estate deal. He has done it all. Frank, the thing is, that's what I want people to know, because when I talk about you, and I say, oh, this guy's super, he's blah, 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 you think you're the only customer, and then they might talk to one of your team members to list a home, and they're thinking, wait a minute, I thought I was getting Frank Duran, the real estate man. But they really need to know the extent of your involvement.
Well, Tom, you know, actually, when they call to list a home, they will talk to me, and I physically go out to the property. We do have buyer agents that work with our buyers, but I'm also involved in those deals. But I truly negotiate every single listing deal.
Oh, everyone?
Everyone.
So if someone is buying or selling and you get to the contract stage, you'll be involved?
On the listing side, I negotiate directly. If it's on the buying side, I'm definitely involved. I may not be as directly involved on the negotiations, but I'm definitely overseeing it.
Okay, and tell me something right now. What's happening with the market, let's say, from, you know, the low up to 500,000?
You know, we put, I think now, about 21 homes under contract in the last 6 weeks, so we're moving them. And we're still getting bidding wars. It's not as extreme as it was a couple years ago, Tom, but what is happening is we are still getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 offers on a lot of these listings.
Really? That many?
Yes.
And then what about houses 500 to $1 million?
That's a little bit more tricky. Funny enough, we do have a few of these in the higher end. In the $700,000 price range, we moved one here not too long ago pretty fast. I think anything over $1 million is going to take a little bit more time, but ultimately they will move.
Okay, and to get in touch with you, Frank, is very easy. Do you answer this phone personally?
Yes, I do actually. 303-920-1622, and I do negotiate every listing.
That's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Now, we had a caller ask, why don't...
How come you don't want to belabor the flooded basement call, but you belabored the ABS pipe call?
Oh.
He wanted to know.
Okay. The ABS pipe was puzzling on the cause of that slit. That really intrigued me. So we don't have to belabor it, but when you have a complete vertical pipe with water passing through it, how does it just get a 9-inch, a 9-inch slit in it, really? And then as far as the basement's very easy. It's flooded. I mean, that's it. It's flooded. It's done,
It's covered.
Yeah, I mean, there's no mystery. The husband did it, which sucks. Mary. Hi, Mary. Are you there? Oh, Mary, are you there? She might have hung up because I was belaboring. 303, see if she's on the line. We have lines open at 303-713-TALK. She's there, 713-8255. Hello, Mary. What's happening?
I have a gym membership I've been to for about 8 years, and there's a new membership in the last 1.5 years. And throughout that time, I've had an ex-stepson bully and harass me verbally, and I just ignored him like anybody would suggest.
Now wait a minute. He bullies you where?
At the gym.
And what do they do about it?
Well, I've complained by email because I've never had an opportunity to have a phone number to reach the owner or meet in person.
That's terrible. It seriously is terrible. I mean, so when you're at the gym, give me an example. What do you mean by bullying you? You're working out. He comes up and says blah blah blah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, really.
And so is it just that he's talking to you and he's creepy, or is he like belligerent?
No, he'll wave his hands, he'll hiss. He's 24 years old. He'll hiss and growl and punch his fists together, and he'll say
Now, when you were married, when you were married to his dad, was he like this?
Yes.
The dad was like that?
No, this is the kid, right?
Right.
Now, you complained to the gym, right? Any good gym would kick him out.
Well, they banned me, actually.
Now, wait a minute. Okay. Hold on.
Oh,
now.
man, there's so much more.
Now,
to
wait
this.
a minute. I don't want to, look, I don't want to victimize a victim. But what Mark just said, I mean, if they kicked you out, they must have had a reason. Why would they kick you out for complaining about someone?
I believe they felt it was the easiest way to go.
Okay, that could be. Yeah.
Yeah, they confronted that family, and that family decided to cancel, I guess. And they are telling me...
Oh, wait, so hold on. So this kid is no longer a member?
Well, he is. The owner just emailed and said they have 30 more days free. That's why they're not allowing me there until things settle over.
I don't understand. I'm very confused. Mary, I just want to ask questions now. Okay, you complained about this kid harassing you, and you said they did confront him or talk to him. Is that right?
Eventually, yes.
Okay. Did they talk to him before or after your membership was terminated?
At the same time, they decided to terminate me.
Okay.
Because they didn't give me details on dates, and they said both our memberships were frozen. What came to be is... And
then eventually, okay, both of your memberships were frozen, but eventually he got let back in?
Yes, he's in there right now.
And he's given... And what is this 30 days free stuff? What are you talking about with that?
Well, I was emailed that after they canceled, they have a right to go 30 more days, and so that's why they're not allowing me.
Okay, but after that 30 days, will he still be allowed in there?
I sincerely have no idea.
Okay.
I doubt it, but
All
I
right.
have no idea.
So really, I think they did what they thought was right, and they canceled all of you.
Although it was never a two-way argument or combative, it was a one-way.
No, I understand, and it does sound terrible.
And don't you have video, Juliet or Mary?
I do. Yes.
Well,
yes, I do.
I'd like
Hold
to
on,
see. I want to see the video.
We got the kid on.
We do? No, we don't. He's not. Hey, no. Hey, listen. Seriously, we got to talk about this, okay? Because I'm concerned.
Okay.
And I want to know why, though. This is the part that puzzles me. Why they're going to let him back in. If you go to be let back in, will they let you back in?
I really don't know. It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like something I'm any longer interested in, to be honest with you. But
okay.
I don't think it was played out fairly or correctly at all. If you make a complaint, you shouldn't be penalized or have to go through some defense period. And
no, you're right. I mean, you shouldn't have to go through all that. You're absolutely right.
No.
What was the name of the gym?
1440 in Castle Rock.
Okay.
1440.
But I would still be so curious as to why, as to why they're doing it this way. They might just have a policy, no matter what, when people have problems, we're done with them.
It's not written in the contract, so I don't know if that is what gyms are able to do, but it's not written in a contract they can do that.
Okay. So here's what we'll do. We'll call them if you want. Do you want us to? Do you want back? What do you want? What do you want us to do, I guess? That's a good question.
Yes, that's a good question.
What do you want us to do? We'll help if we can.
Okay, thank you.
You called for a reason.
Yes. At this point, I feel after finding out today that other member is allowed in the gym, whether it be that they canceled out of their choice, they weren't asked to leave, and now they have the 30 days, and I'm being held off because they said all of a sudden.
But you said you don't want to be in there.
No, not anymore. Not after today.
So then making that argument's not going to help us, because the solution will be they'll say, okay, she can come back. You know, I mean, in other words, I don't think it's going to be worth it.
Right.
So I will.
I'd probably like my money back from the beginning of the year when I re-signed the contract. I was promised by an employee by text that they would have my back should that occur again, because it's ongoing. When it did occur, I contacted that employee by text, and he said, no, too much drama, contact the police.
Right.
He's not going to help.
Why is she so angry at you, for real?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We definitely want to see this. We definitely want to see this video. And Mary, you know, are you afraid that this guy might do something to you?
I don't know.
Did you say he's in his 20s?
24.
Okay, hold on, because I got to get to what we can do to help, if anything, or if anyone else has any suggestions.
I told her to send the video. He was, I guess, saying, "You're ugly, you stink." No, I'm serious.
I don't know why I find that funny.
What if this kid has a mental health issue?
And he's a weightlifter. He's a bodybuilder.
Oh, maybe he's on
meathead, yeah.
What do you call him, meathead?
He's a meathead.
Roid rage, man.
Very well could be.
Or she's a Looney Tune.
That could be too.
I think there's probably.
You talked to her at length. What do you make of it?
Not length, but I talked to her.
You met with her.
Well, no.
You went out to eat with her.
Another one?
No, I can't tell, because first you wanted to come on, then she didn't. They want to come on, you go.
No, I like these calls. They're good.
I'd like to see that video. How come she hasn't said it?
It's about to end production of
And how do you really? The guy's doing that. You're gonna just video him into your face, I guess.
And she said she started the video, and then she walked up and said hi, and then he goes.
Oh wait, so she confronted him. That's not
That,
very nice.
on the video, no, but she was doing. He does that all to her all the time, but she never had her phone with her to video it. So this time she.
I wonder what went down in that divorce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Designed with exclusive SmartFlex
But like I say, if the guy is,
Maybe she was with him too.
Look, it's over in Castle Pines. At least it looks like Castle.
No, I thought it was Castle Rock.
Yeah, she said Castle.
Well, they're right next to each other, right?
Happy Canyon Road.
Yeah, that's pretty much Castle Rock.
This is Castle Pines.
Paradigm 30 spot.
I think Anthony's Pizza's right here.
This is a really hard spot.
They're not really happy there on Happy Canyon Road.
This is Anthony's Pizza.
Blocked, crews are on the scene, so expect some delays. Also, a rollover crash being cleared on the eastbound side of the Hampton.
I'll probably need this one if I do a halfway decent
Yeah,
job.
here's Santa Fe. Yeah, this is definitely Castle Pines.
Up in the high country, highway 6.
Yeah, but I'll send it back to at 30 no matter what I do. Yeah, just yeah. And just for the record, I don't ever want you just saving one and keeping it unless I go through it, okay? I want to make it perfect.
And 41 with the traffic in West 6:30, K-How.
Hi, I'm Mike. Some days, even I might cook a little rough. So I turn
All right.
Blue English.
Gotcha. 5 seconds. If you want to save interest and pay your house off quicker, save interest and pay your home off quickly, and at the same time, have a credit available to use when you need it, My Bank, My Loan, My Way. It is a great loan that allows you to save interest by crediting you for every dollar you have in your savings account for every day it's in there. And then when your home is paid off, the Paradigm Group will help you take My Bank, My Loan, My Way and use it so you can take that equity and use it smartly instead of stupid credit cards. And then prepare for retirement and reduce taxes. Call for a one-on-one meeting or find out about their next seminar. 720-931-6560. That's 720-931-6560. I want no part of that spot, no part of it. I did everything wrong. There wasn't one part I liked.
I always wondered, is it statute or is it statute?
It depends what you're talking about. If you're talking about in
Whenever
law,
I say I want something recorded, it turns out
statute.
bad. I shouldn't even say
Remember said that? Remember that?
Jared.
Kramer was one.
Yeah, but he goes, it's not a stat. I know it.
I think that's you. I think you're wrong. Let me ask Elaine.
Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center will let you try out any device you need to reduce tinnitus or to help you with a hearing loss. Free tryout periods. How do you beat that? And they have a caring, loving staff that will pick the right one for you. Now, tinnitus treatment comes in various forms. You can mask it or you can eradicate it depending on the type of tinnitus. Dr. Patty, Dr. Lisa, Dr. Dagmar will help you find the right treatment for you. Helpforringing.com, Clarkson and Hamden. In that urgent care building, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center is on the second floor. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. The website, helpforringing.com. I want that one.
Aggressive. To keep it, you must be defensive. Hi, this is Carlin Tucker. Our Tucker all-season portfolio provides secure monthly income. Market offense with growth, defense.
Why would anyone tolerate that?
Especially nowadays.
That's what
like say, and if he is a bodybuilder, he is not
Wow. You guys are once again assuming she's not crazy.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
There's probably a little bit of both sides on that one.
We usually only see the one side.
Woman is nuts.
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding.
There you go.
If you are someone you know
Statute.
alcohol, prescription drugs,
Limitations.
drugs, or mental health issue, anxiety, depression.
Because she had the statute, and she got the statute wrong.
There's help. Call the Raleigh House today. They've established a special number to address your concerns. 720-7.
There probably is somewhere a statute of limitations. There must be, right? A statute of limitations.
Yeah, we ought to make one. That would be funny. She's an article, Statute of Limitations.
The statute of limitations.
Be a short one.
We should bring that to that damn judge.
Your Honor, we've been practicing this statute of limitations. Remember?
He did, though, allow us to ask him questions afterwards. Who did? The judge. This guy was.
Oh, that's cool. He was a nice guy.
Oh, he was an okay guy, but like you said, he didn't.
Can you imagine being the poor judge sitting in small claims court in Denver County?
I'm Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Dennis. Dennis, what is your comment? Go ahead, Dennis. And then we go back to that gym membership. Yes.
Yeah, Tom, I just wanted to say it sounds like that boy's got a serious issue.
Yes.
He really is a big concern, and I just, my opinion, he could use a tune-up.
He can use a tune-up. Ooh, where did that expression ever come from?
It's a horrible expression.
Oh, we tuned him up. We tuned him up. George, welcome. What's going on with you, George?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to your guest, Matt from Paragon Services.
What's going on with him?
Well, he came out to our house in Evans late last year after we had a hailstorm. And, and he helped us out with our siding.
Very cool. That's cool. He helped you, and you loved the service? I mean, did he get you more than you thought?
Oh, yeah. He's an awesome guy. He also helped out my parents who live in Greeley.
Really? And what happened? He got them more?
He got them a little bit more money after they had their roof replaced. So yeah, he's a
you gotta love it when people do what they say and say what they do.
No, I ended up buying him a beer too. So
that's why he's calling. That's the only reason he's calling. Hey, thank you though, George. I'm serious about that. Okay, we got a question for Genesis. Genesis, do you do any screened-in patios? Do you build those? No. Okay. And do you know? Well, here's the deal. What's the best way to go about that? Here's what I think. I think you should put a structural roof on it, and not just have it, the screens coming out the side with these aluminum frames that you can buy it. And I don't go for those. Do you agree with a
No, I agree because they're so light and
a structural roof shedding off the house, and then you can have an aluminum or wood frame. But again, don't go with those portable. They're not portable, but they're like panels. They're really weak.
Right, and with our wind here, forget it.
Yeah, and if I was going to go through, here's the truth. If I'm going to go through the expense of a screened patio, I think what I would do is a knee wall or a half wall and windows, and I would make it a 3-season. You know, so it's not difficult to do a 3-season room in Colorado. You know, you don't have to heavily heat it, and you can close it in the winter, but you can certainly use it for spring, summer, and fall, and maybe even some winter days. 303-713-8255, and that's Genesis, Mark Szymanski. You can find him on the referral list. So, Mary, what do you want us to do? That's what we want to figure out so we can help you. And I understand your anger. I mean, listen, you're asked to leave this gym. You don't give a damn about that so much. But then you hear that the guy who was harassing you, who was also asked to leave, is now allowed back. Here's my question. Would you be allowed back? I'm not saying you want to go, but would you be allowed?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know that I'd want to, but it's a good question on where this is all coming from.
Right.
It just doesn't, I would like an answer on that. And it's just back and forth on numerous emails that is too easy to get confused. When one conversation pretty much could have resolved everything probably in the beginning.
You mean like just confronting him about his anger or something?
No, just maybe between myself and the gym owner, just a quick conversation in person, so there's no misunderstanding.
Is this Is this like a privately owned gym?
Yes.
Are you thinking the guy? It could. You know what? I'd venture to say, is this a man or a woman that owns this?
Both, 2 different couples.
You know, sometimes people don't know what to do, and that's the sad truth. They honest to goodness, do not know how to deal with this kind of thing, because it's very uncomfortable. You know, dealing with harassment, domestic violence. I mean, because any kind of harassment, verbal, of course, physical. It wouldn't matter. Assault is assault, and then he would have been kicked out. I would be curious, and you know what? I think they could tell us to jump on the lake because it's none of our business, but Deputy Dan, for the hell of it, you ought to call him and ask him, why would someone who complained be asked to leave and the guy who did the harassing is allowed back? I would ask that.
Okay. Mary, did you give them that video? Show them what he did?
Well, I've told them from the beginning I had that video, and I've offered many appointments which haven't been made, so they don't seem to be too interested in seeing it now.
Have you sent it to us yet?
Yeah, I want to see it.
I couldn't. I can get it to you somehow. I'm just having a problem forwarding it from my phone.
No, I want you to, and we really want to see it for sure.
Okay.
Why'd you guys get divorced? Out of curiosity.
Why?
Yeah. It's a step kid, right?
Because of the step kids. Was the biggest problem. Yeah.
See, how many were there? How many kids?
2.
Are they both miserable bastards? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, listen. You know, step kids, there is a big problem. That is the #1 reason second marriages fail. The first marriages fail for what? What's the first reason?
Money.
Exactly. Second marriages, step kids. Third,
you think that's right?
No, that is statistically. Wow. Well, last time I checked, let me put it that way.
Yeah, okay. It's a big one.
The third marriage.
Be careful.
4th marriage, 5th marriage, I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. 303-713-8255.
This report is sponsored by K&H Home Solutions.
I wouldn't know.
I'll tell you what, I have the best stepkids ever.
You've always said that.
Super.
I got lucky. I got 3, and they're all
great,
phenomenal. 3 kids, 3 stepkids.
First marriage for you?
I'm not married, but we're getting married. I mean, we've been together 5 years.
Right.
So.
You live with the kids.
They live with me. They all live with me.
Yeah, I'll tell you
But their dad's a good dude too, so that helps.
That's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, I have to mention that.
But if the exes are constantly fighting and bickering, it's got to be next to impossible.
Oh God! I mean, why even be involved with somebody like that?
We know someone. Listen to this. Hey, you're up top.
Update and upgrade your windows with these unbeatable values.
Suzanne.
PaintWindows.com for the window triple pane upgrade detail.
Century RV. CentryRV.com will get you to the website that people from all over the country find, and then what do? They fly into Denver or drive into Denver. You don't have to worry about that. You're here. Century RV, 2 locations. Out west in Lakewood, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's, and up north on 119 turn off to Longmont and I-25 right along Frontage Road. They have a service department up there, which is really important. this is why, because most places, even if they're great with service, they can't fit those RVs. And, of course, Century RV can work on the house part as well as the chassis and the motor. 303-453-1111. And they have the best prices around. But, of course, don't shop just price. They have quality merchandise, all the famous brands, and conveniently located. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6.
Is here, and rates are still in the low fours. Denver's housing market is continuing to increase in value, with over 35,000 more families.
Did you meet her in Texas? I assume.
Yeah, we met in Texas, and then I relocated the business to up here.
Many of our clients are paying off their credit card.
We love it here. It's great.
How long you been?
3 years.
New carpet,
I'm pretty new.
finishing basements.
Pull up this email I'm sending.
It's amazing.
Pull up this email I'm
Have
sending.
you thought about adding?
It's a link. Go to the link.
People?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to eventually. Right now I can still handle it, but I'll add a couple guys.
So Suzanne and I know someone. They got divorced. 2 couples got divorced and married each other's exes.
Whoa.
The one happened first on an affair, and then of course it was almost like a revenge marriage.
Wow.
And none of them get along. I mean, they can't even go to the kids' like
Soccer game.
anything together, man.
Yeah.
How do you know that they're actually friends?
Relatives of Suzanne.
Roadside assistance, and you get a guaranteed replacement.
Tell me that's not crazy.
That's some Jerry Springer.
You can see how.
Yeah, really, it is Jerry Springer. That's a good point.
Welcome. I imagine it's happened before, because what happens is exes start talking.
Well, they talk.
They
Oh,
confide in
poor
each
you,
other and-
poor you, poor you,
Yeah.
poor me, poor me.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing lately?
But do they have good marriages?
Yeah, actually, I'd say, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, second marriage is yes. Did you go to that link?
You can call them at 303 Pro Auto. We're better, faster, cheaper than the dealer or the chain repair shops. 2 locations in Littleton and in Denver. 303 Pro Auto, and the website is 303proauto.com. Oh my gosh!
Commit to a healthier you.
You see that?
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something about that when we
Cooler
come back.
half-ton.
That is so cool.
And learn how your genes
Is that yours?
impact your health and more. Explore over 125 personalized
Home
reports
theater.
on things like muscle composition.
Does it have a home theater?
Well, no, but it looks like.
That's a half-ton truck.
Look at that, optional theater seating. It does. It
No,
has,
I think that it means around the table.
or outside, maybe.
I don't know. I see that's. But this is very cool looking.
A lot of
So
them.
where's the front? Oh, this is a trailer, though, Mark.
That's a trailer.
Yeah, those old broken down window wells with that corrugated steel.
What do you think it was? A bus?
At first, you just want
No,
to put in
it's a trailer.
because you need to use the square footage and you want safe egress. It's
Yeah,
called
I don't.
egress
I think a
window
trailer
or
is the
window
way to
well,
go.
never egress
I think.
window. They
Yeah.
For the fact that you
They're
don't have
lightweight.
to, you don't have to pull. The licenses are cheaper.
You don't have to have a
It's
big Super Duty.
You can unhook it. Now you've got a vehicle right there to drive
Well, you
around.
can do that with a fifth wheel. though. I thought you were comparing it to a fifth
No,
wheel.
no, that's what
fifth wheel
he
or
means.
trailer.
He means something.
I got it.
Versus like yours.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Did you get that picture of that Cougar?
A Cougar.
22 RBS.
Now, what do you mean RBS?
That's the model number.
Oh, and this is from Century RV, Keystone.
Well,
it's a Keystone brand. Century RV sells them.
They're the #1 selling Cougar dealer. The reason I bring this up is I wanted to ask you, what do you think those cost to go down and buy one of those?
It looks pretty cool. How tall? I mean, how long is it?
I don't know, man. It looks pretty good. It's got a king bed in it. It's got an entertainment center. It's got
what
a
about them?
kitchen,
How much
bathroom.
are they?
They got them right now, 23 grand and change.
Are you kidding me?
Or less than 200
These
bucks
are
a month.
so cool.
They need to move them, too.
Oh, Mark, this 3D tour, did you do it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, no, that 3D tour is awesome.
Just a Cougar 22 RBS for people looking.
I love that. Hey, and also, Mark Trenner, I'm not sure, I swear to you, I gave his number out because I talked about protecting yourself, don't go to the internet, and somebody said, you didn't give me the number. Mark Trenner, Trenner Law, 720-221-3708, okay? 720-221-3708. Just look for Trenner Law on the referral list. Let's talk to Tyler about the medical bill. Tyler, what's going on?
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
Yes, sir. So basically, my mom had bypass open heart surgery roughly about 5 years ago. And I'm an only child. I'm helping taking care of her. She's back to work. And long story short, she got this letter from Wakefield and Associates.
Yeah, they're collectors.
Yeah, and it's from the company CarePoint PC.
That's healthcare provider. So what can we do for you?
Yeah, so they're saying that there's a balance of $1,696, and it's saying if she pays like $1,100 of it, that they'll forfeit the debt. And
anyway, what about it? What are you concerned about? First of all, you have to ask yourself: is it a legit debt? Does she owe it?
No, sir. She's never been. I took her to every single appointment that she's been to.
No. Here's the deal. That CarePoint could be one of the providers billing. It doesn't mean it's the name of the clinic. CarePoint, though, I believe, is a finance company for medical procedures. Did she ever get a medical procedure and took out a loan?
No, sir.
Is it called CarePoint?
CarePoint PC. And when I was on hold during your commercial break,
sir.
I just kind of looked it up, and it's on Hampton Avenue, and they got like all kinds of like similar reviews, like Google review after Google review.
CarePoint what?
CC. PC, yes, sir.
Oh, PC, that's private corporation. That means that healthcare providers have PCs, which is a private corporation, or excuse me, professional corporation it's called. So it's a healthcare, okay, it's a healthcare, is it urgent care or something? What is it? Let's see, we're going to see.
It's urgent care, yeah. I never even heard of this place.
It's a it's a multi-specialty physician group. Somehow, listen, this is easy. Somehow, they're billing your mom because she went there, or they think she did. They're not a scam.
Or a doctor was at a certain hospital you brought her to.
Yeah, I mean, they're really not a scam. It's a legit clinic. And somehow it was turned over to collection, which probably tells me it's nearing 6 years because they go to collectors as last resort, which means they want to get it before the statute of limitations expires. So here's what I want to ask. Do you know for a fact she hasn't been there in the last 6 years?
Yes, sir. I took and she had her surgery at
that's all you have to say. I don't need the story.
Okay.
You know for sure. Okay. So Tyler, you call them and say this is not her bill, and then they're going to say it is. So if they won't send you documentation, all right, and if they're not friendly, because while CarePoint might be legit, this collector, what's the name of it again? We get so many complaints about him. What's that collector?
Wakefield and Associates.
Wakefield, yeah. They're very aggressive. So if they're not going to play nice and give you documentation, you can call CarePoint directly for your mom, or your mom can call. You're going to have to get documentation, and if they won't give it to you, here's the good news. What are they going to do? They're going to, how old's your mom?
She is 72.
Okay. What, does she have anything they can take?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So she's judgment-proof. I mean, you can tell them, look, my mom's 72, she's judgment-proof. So if you want to play nice and give us documentation, if we owe it, we'll send it to Medicare.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why Medicare's not paying it. And if Medicare doesn't pay it, we'll pay it if we owe it. But if you don't tell us about it, good luck, sue us. And then if she's sued, then take her to court and have her ask for the documentation then. I mean, this is nothing you should be losing sleep about, not with an elderly person. It's not worth it.
Yeah, yes, sir. And, well, thank you for this. And then real quick, too, I thought, I actually purchased her home, and you guys have been a tremendous help. Simply Floors did my hardwood floors, and
cool.
I know Dino's did the bathroom.
Mr. Dino, hey, listen, if you ever need help on this, if she gets served or anything, call us back, okay? Don't ignore it.
Yes, sir.
Don't ignore it. Okay, if she's served. Ken, I'm going to try to squeeze you in here, man. You got a water break in the front of your house, so is it in the main? It's not in your service line, right?
Yes, sir.
What can we do for you?
I'm just curious as to what steps I need to take as far as to make sure that the damage that was created or...
What damage do you have right now?
Well, right now, from what I can see, is just over the ground, and when it exploded, it put all the dirt and debris into my yard. And
Why
between
did
my
it
building.
explode?
The line cracked and busted up. I don't know what caused
Okay,
it,
listen, man. Here's what you really need to do. Take pictures.
I did that.
Good, and make sure they're date stamped. So you let your camera, your phone will do it all for you. Geo stamp, date stamp, everything. As long as you don't turn all that stuff off, it's on. Then what you want to do is here's the bad news, okay? If that water flows into your house, you're not covered. Because water from outside flowing in is not covered unless you have flood insurance. You don't probably. And here's the other deal. That kind of thing to go after a municipality is almost impossible because they're usually not responsible for the normal upkeep maintenance of their facilities. So you're going to have a tough time if you get damages. So what we want to try to do is at the first sign of trouble in your basement or anywhere, call us back. But make sure you keep that photographic evidence. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget GenesisTotalExteriors.com or Paragon Services. Is that right? Or is it Paragon PA Services?
Yeah, that's the
All
website.
Right. Selling your home? Then don't just settle for a yard sign and multi-list. Go with Frank Duran, the real estate man, for the most proactive
It's weird.
sales.
Insurance companies can say we're not going to cover any flood damage, but they can't say we're not going to cover anything. I don't get it.
Out there.
It's bullshit. It's crazy.